What's good with it, BlakGooseTV family, man? Double salute as always. Your boy Fluence Boxing is in the building with some Fluence Boxing news on the Fluence Friday side of the game. What's good with it, family? Hopefully your Friday is going absolutely amazing. Hopefully your Friday's going absolutely how you want it to go. I know I'm late. I know, I'm saying I'm not here at the time that I said I was going to be here, but better late than never. That's what they say, right? We got some things to discuss. We got some topics to get into, and we got some potential unfortunate news when it comes to upcoming fights that us as boxing fans, period, was really, really looking forward to. Not only were we really looking forward to it, but also it's been speculated, a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people have been saying that it's supposed to happen. I've been one of the few saying I don't believe it until I see it. And, until I see it, I got to see the ink. You feel me? Like, I was one of those guys, one of those critics saying that basically all these people, reporting this news, reporting that news, man. Hey, look, I got to see the real before I actually, believe it's a deal. You feel me? So we're going to get in all that. I'm going to get in more specifics about the fights that I'm talking about. Also, too, man, we're going to have Adrian Broner. I know I don't have it in the title below, but we're going to be talking about some things that Adrian Broner said recently where I think possibly Adrian Broner might have retired from the sport of boxing when it comes to trying to get another belt. Like he said at one point, he said he wanted to be a champion one more time before he retired. Looks like he may be looking at the influencer side of the game when it comes to boxing, possibly with his recent call out. So we're going to talk about that too. A lot of things to get into, man. A lot of things to get into. First and foremost, man, y'all excuse me. Another day that I'm dealing with allergies. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. The allergy bug is just going crazy for me where I'm living right now. The weather just totally switched on me. So when the weather just switches on me like this, also, we're going into the winter and all that good stuff, but it switched real hard. I do cardio every time I work out. If I do cardio in a place and the weather's cold outside, like even like when I had allergies the other day, which actually sidelined me from doing anything Thursday. But when I had allergies the other day, like I went outside and I ran. So that was on me. Like I blamed it on me. Like I should have been prepared. I should have known it was gonna be cold. I should have had the hoodie on, should have had the sweats on, the face mask, all that good stuff. But instead I had on a shirt, some shorts. So that's my fault. But the day, like I'm in the gym, I'm running, you feel me? But it's like they still got the air conditioner on, they got the fans going. It's like, man, you just setting up someone like myself a failure when it comes to allergies. So my allergies got re-flared up. They're not as bad as they're not as bad as it was on Wednesday, simply because I was inside the facility. But they still annoying, they still irritating. So y'all bear with me if y'all got me, y'all see any of the sniffles, y'all hear any of the sniffles, the achus, all that good stuff. But we're gonna get through this regardless. Anyways, now that we got all that out the way, man, we got a lot to discuss. Now, what was I speaking on earlier when it came to the particular the potential of us having bad news in a particular fight that we've all been anticipating and looking forward to? What is this potential fight? Who am I talking about? Before I get into that, man, please, if y'all up in here, man, or if y'all do come up in here, if y'all come up in here later, whatever the case may be, man, hit the like button below, please, man. It's right there. It's for free. Ain't nothing wrong with it. So go ahead and hit it. Next to it is the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel, be part of the family. You feel me? Because, ain't nothing like being part of the BlakGooseTV family, man, especially when it comes to the boxing side of the game, man. We are the most knowledgeable. It's going to be knowledgeable. We are the most well-rounded. We are most level-headed. So, join the family. We welcome you with open arms. And, of course, notification gang. And then if you come up in here, man, hit the chat, comment on that joint. A little bit later tonight, I'm going to drop the link. So if anyone does end up coming in here and they want to join, y'all can obviously come in and join, have some good times. But until we get to that point, there are some things that need to be discussed, and there's some things that need to be talked about. Okay, my bad on the camera right there. Make sure you know what I'm saying. And what are the two names that I'm referring to? The big name fight that we were expecting to happen that may not possibly happen anymore, that we may not be seeing coming together at the end of the year. Am I talking about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? Because I see it in the title. Is that what I'm talking about? Am I talking about Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn? Because I thought that fight was supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Am I talking about Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius? I thought that was a done deal. No, I'm talking about the one fight I've most heavily been criticizing, the one fight I've been most heavily been going at, the one fight I've been saying, I do not think this fight will happen. And if it does, I won't believe it until I motherfucking see it. And by seeing it, I mean, I got to see them either in the ring or I got to see the contracts where they both signed. And even if they both sign a contract, I can still see a reason for the fight not happening. But it's in jeopardy, y'all. the fight that everybody told me was going to happen, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. We may not be getting this fight, y'all. This fight may not be happening after all. What's the reasoning behind this? Why? Well, we definitely gonna get into the details of this. I got an article. We're gonna pull it up. We're gonna read that. But before we get into all that, let's have a little fun, right? Let's speculate. All right. Let's play the what if game. Let's play the guessing game. Let's play the allegedly game. Now, me personally, every time I spoke about this potential date that was set in stone when it comes to November 11th, 12th, and actually I hope I can eat my words. I hope that all this is just like rumors. All this is just like something to put one particular promotional side or one particular entity on the back end when it comes to negotiating. And so maybe they're just trying to, have someone bend where it's like, oh, we're willing to cancel the fight if you don't accept these terms type thing. That's what I'm hoping is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping the case of this particular report is. But the way it is seeming like it's not the fight won't happen during this particular. It's not like the fight won't happen, but the fight won't happen when we think it's going to happen. There's a possibility we're going to have to wait all the way till 2023 for the fight to actually happen. Now, let's speculate. Because already off the bat, when I'm looking at the boxing community, when I'm looking at what people thinking, what people saying, they're putting it on Terence Crawford, right? Saying, oh, Terence Crawford's being hard to deal with. Why don't you just accept the terms given to him and just move on with the fight? Why is he being so difficult? And then you got guys, on Terence Crawford's side saying, well, I heard he accepted a 65-35 deal where he's only getting 35% just and pay-per-view points. I heard Terence Crawford has said yes to every stipulation given to him by, PBC, Al Heyman, Errol Spence's team. So what's the reasoning behind the fight not making, being able to be made happen? Also, we're all aware that Terence Crawford is no longer with Bob Arum. That's obvious. So we can't say that it's the top rank, PBC Al Heyman relationship that's holding the fight up. So that would be the Terence Crawford fans side, excuse me. So I can see both sides, right? And then when you just go strictly to the reports are saying that, supposedly they just don't like the original date. They think that maybe they'll have a little bit more success if they look at this fight happening in 2023. And remember, this is all speculation. We'll get into the article. We'll get into the facts soon. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into what's really, been specifically reported. But as of now, me just kind of wandering the YouTube streets, looking at the boxing community and what they're saying. That's the arguments I'm seeing from the Errol Spence side, and that's the arguments I'm seeing from the Terence Crawford side. Right? And they both are valid arguments, especially since we don't actually know any type of information that is going to be able to solidify the reason why there's speculation that this fight isn't going to happen when they said the fight is going to happen. So now with that being said, there's another question that comes into play when it comes to these two particular fighters. And a lot of people might not think this. A lot of people might not ask this. A lot of people might not have this even in their mindset. Me personally, is there a possibility we get to the point, not necessarily that fans don't want to see it, because, boxing fans, we're always itching to see something. But do we get to a point where it's a little too late, right? I remember back in my younger years, some would say I'm still young. Some would say I'm too old. In my younger years, we had a very similar situation with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And I've been comparing these two fights ever since this fight has been struggling to be made. And people wanted to see Floyd versus Pacquiao. Floyd versus Pacquiao. This is the fight I want to see. I can't wait. So excited and anticipated the fight so much that even when the fight actually happened, it still broke pay-per-view record numbers and still to this day has one of the highest pay-per-view selling fights ever. But the actual fight was too little, too late. It was absolutely disappointing. These guys were both past their prime. These guys were both too old. They should not have been in the ring together. And even if they should have been in the ring together, it almost seemed like they didn't train as if they both took it. It was not a memorable fight. It was not what it built. It's not what the hype built it up to be. So is Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford going to somehow turn into the same exact spectacle that Floyd and Pacquiao did. And the reason why I'm saying this is because both of these fighters are older. Both of these fighters have not been very active in their last couple of years. You know, whether it be by choice, whether it be by, not their choice, by fate. At the end of the day, these are not young fighters. And so as they continue to push this fight off, I'm not saying that they're pushing the fight off, but let's just say as they continue to negotiate and try to, figure out a date, confirm on a date, will we end up having two fighters in the ring that we felt like are, some of the all-time greatest when it comes to the 147 division, but unfortunately the fight's going to be underwhelming because it's too little too late. That's what I'm scared of, and that's the question I'm asking. Because as much you guys want to think it, as much you guys want to say it, Errol Spence is a year younger than Terence Crawford. Like both of these boys are not no spring chickens. And if you want to be honest, Terence Crawford probably a little bit healthier between the two. Why? Terence Crawford ain't never dealt with no major injuries like Errol Spence has. So the longer that we delay this fight, in my personal opinion, the more likelihood of the actual fight happening, because I do think the fight's going to happen at some point. There's just too much money in it. It's going to happen. But the longer we delay it, when it actually happens, I personally believe the less impressive the actual fight will be, and we'll actually have a bigger question mark on who is the better fighter and who should be the pound for pound undisputed. I truly believe that. And how could you say that if one fighter is going to beat the other fighter? I'm going to go back to my original reference. If you look at Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, even though Floyd Mayweather boxed circles around Manny Pacquiao for those 12 rounds, it's hard to say Floyd Mayweather's is level above Manny Pacquiao because both in that particular fight just seemed like, well, this fight probably shouldn't have happened. And especially when you saw, at that time, Manny Pacquiao, we said, well, he had that shoulder injury. A lot of people said it was excuses. And then you see what he was able to do coming back with a revitalization of his career, even though some people say, he had a couple robberies. Either way it goes, regardless. The fight between Floyd and Manny, too little, too late, wrong time, wrong place. Is that going to be the same outcome for Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford? Too little, too late, wrong place, wrong time. It's a big possibility because I really do believe if this fight does not happen this year and it ends up being postponed to next year, that's a problem. That's a problem. If you want to be 100, if I was Terence Crawford and I was his team, I would be looking for the Jermell Charlo fight if it's possible. He's not going to get it because, Tim Tszyu was set up, but that's crazy. For this fight to be postponed to 2023, what's the reasoning behind this? There's not a lot happening later in the year. There's not a lot happening. There is some good fights happening late October. I think it's early November as well, but nothing crazy. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence would easily be the biggest fight. But do you think possibly they're thinking about reconsidering that date, maybe because they think Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury is going to happen? I don't know. That's a total different month. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. So what's going on here? And I love that. Yeah, I agree with you. Baytown. Let me make sure I get it back. Baytown Low. I know I'm saying it wrong, man. How do I put it all together, man? Let me get it right. But I agree with you, though. I'm going to say Baytown for now. Not really because there's not a lot of big fights happening. And so, yeah, I feel the same way. There's no big fights happening in the November month to the extent where it's going to challenge the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. A lot of people, when this fight was supposedly announced and, said to be official, a lot of people were saying this is going to be the biggest fight of the year. A lot of people saw this as being a bigger fight than Canelo versus Triple G3. A lot of people saw this being a bigger fight than Anthony Joshua Tyson, versus Alexander Usyk 2. A lot of people just saw this as it's probably going to be one of the biggest fights we're going to see this year. The only other fight that will be bigger if it does end up happening would be Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. But me personally, that's another fight I don't think is going to happen. But we'll get into that. So what is the real reason? Why is this being suggested? Why is this being put out here, to the media where there's a possibility, a highly likelihood of Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence not happening? Now, real quick, I'm going to give you, before we get into the article so we can maybe get some details to understand why this is being said, I got to give y'all a quick rundown. I got to be 110% with y'all. I've been one of the people saying, I don't think this fight's going to happen. I just don't believe it. Until I see, pen to paper, I will not believe this fight to be happening. It's just, I feel like there's just too many obstacles to be made. And one of the biggest obstacles, in my personal opinion, that people are not talking about, is that Terence Crawford is still in a lawsuit battle with Bob Ehrman Top Rank, which, by the way, if y'all don't know, old man Bob himself said he thinks, they asked him, like, who do you think wins the fight? So I think Terence wins the fights. But does that play a part in all this? I don't know. Like, how many times have you seen fighters have a big fight and they're in a lawsuit with their previous promotional company? You know what I'm saying? For lost wages. So I think that's something that comes into play, even though I'm not sure about it. We're still speculating until until I pull the article up and we look at the facts, or we look at least what's been reported. I'm speculating. I feel like that's a problem. I also feel like that, PBC, Al Heyman, Errol Spence's team, as far as, business wise, I don't think they don't see this fight as lucrative as it can be maybe next year. They probably feel like next year it could be a much more lucrative fight. Why do I feel this particular way? Because I think it boils down to Al Heyman. I think Al Heyman wants to sign Terence Crawford, and I think he wants to put him under the PBC banner. And I think he wants to look at it as if, hey, Terence, if I can get you, one, like just at least one fight, but two would be great. 1 to 2 fights under the PBC banner. You know what I'm saying? Get you on the momentum. Now have all the PBC guys really, watching you, looking at you. Oh, you a beast. Let Errol Spence fight a couple more times. Let him get back comfortable, because remember, he did fight 2 times this year, but he's coming off a crazy car crash, crazy accident, crazy injuries. He didn't fight, 2 years before that prior. So, so it'd be beneficial for both of y'all. Like, that's what I think. Like, I'm speculating, allegedly. None of this has been reported to me. None of this is true right here. We're not going. Don't take anything as facts until I pull up the article, okay, y'all? My bad, y'all. Allergies. It's going crazy. But so I'm like, don't take any of that as facts or nothing like that. Everything's allegedly. Everything's just me, speculate. But I'm like, if I'm PBC, if I'm Al Heyman, I see Terence Crawford as a free agent. I'm like, let me get you under the PBC banner. Let me get you a couple fights. Let me show you what the PBC machine does. This will also build up the Terence. This will also build up the potential, fight with you, Crawford, and Errol Spence. And then, what I'm saying? Then we can make that fight happen late 2023. People are still going to want to see it. Boxing fans are still going to be interested. That's still going to be a fight that everyone's going to be asking about, and everybody's going to be wanting to happen, especially, think about this. Think about the hype it would be if all of a sudden you hear Terence Crawford signed to PBC. That's only going to raise the hype. So all this is speculation, but I'm thinking that's the idea from Al Heyman. And I think, I do believe the supposed rumors that Terence Crawford accepted the terms of 35-65. I do believe that, because that was reported by very reputable sources. So if he accepted those terms, which a lot of people felt like he got screwed over, a lot of people was like, oh man, you really need a promotional company with you. Like, how are you going to accept that? So if he accepted those with pay-per-view points, allegedly, how are we now in a place where the fight's supposedly not going to happen? At least until next year. What ended up happening? Do you think, because this happens, you know what I'm saying? I'm in it, the particular, how I make money, what I do for work, it comes in as negotiating. You got to negotiate. And whenever you lowball somebody and you lowball them and they accept the lowball, always you're like, wait, hold on, what? Nigga, I just gave you the lowest number. Why'd you just accept that? There's a pullback. So my personal opinion, I'm looking at, I think Al Heyman lowballed Terence, like, yo, look, I'll give you pay-per-view points and you get 35%. And Terence was like, bet. And he was like, hold up. He wasn't supposed to accept that, y'all. He was not supposed to accept that. We got to pull back. Hold on. And then he goes back. He changes the contract again. This is all speculation, but he goes back, changes it, because I'm like, from the outside looking in, us as boxing fans were saying that's a crazy split. 65-35. Terence Crawford deserves more than that. Even if you're not a Terence Crawford fan, he deserves more than that. So I really do think Al Heyman, PBC, Showtime, they lowballed my man Terence, and he took it. Because he was like, I don't got to split this with no one, because we're also going to do pay-per-view points, because that's what you're giving me. You have to. I'm the main event. And so he's like, he has confidence that they're going to make it up. I don't think Al Heyman expected him to accept this. So I think there was a change in the contract. The change in the contract is still being, supposedly being made. And there's a good possibility that the change in the contract won't be finalized or completed. That will give Terence Crawford and his team enough time to read over everything and get it back to them by the deadline. These deadlines are real, y'all. These deadlines are the focal driving point when it comes to negotiations. That's why a lot of times you see, in boxing, fights being made that you're like, why is this fight being made? Is this because one's looking for a come up and the other one's looking for an easy fight? So it's very easy to get this shit done by the deadline. In this particular situation, I really do think that. So let me do it before we get into the details. I'm gonna give y'all my personal opinion. I do think that I don't think we can put the blame on Terence Crawford because it's already out there. And a lot of y'all can say, well, you're more of a Terence Crawford, but it's already out there, man. Terence Crawford agreed to the stipulations already. He agreed to everything. So my personal opinion, I really do think that PBC is lagging. They didn't expect him to say okay. And I don't think it has anything to do with Errol, right? This isn't me saying Earl's ducking anybody. Like, not even close. You feel me? Like, I definitely don't think Earl's ducking anyone. I think this all has to do with PBC, Al Heyman, and how they're looking at the situation of the fact that they're like, wait, Terence, I just lowballed you, bro, when you took the contract. Because I do think, Al Heyman wants to get Terence Crawford under the PBC banner at least for a couple fights. And how I would back that up, and basically, my point being for that would be like, you see what he did with Canelo. Like, in order for him to do business with Canelo and DAZN, Canelo had to step away from DAZN for a little bit, and he had to sign, that exclusive deal to fight Caleb Plant. I'm gonna go ahead. Hold up. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat if y'all want to join. You feel me? Got Dub right side in the building. So if y'all want to get up in here, man, y'all just go ahead and hit the link. I'll what I'm saying, y'all. I'll get y'all up in here, man. And that'll be a good time too, because we're not getting to the specifics just yet, but I ain't gonna pull them up. But like, that would be my particular speculation when it comes to the whole entire situation. Was I personally and truly believe that when it comes to this whole entire, the possibility of this fight not happening, I don't think it has to do with the fighters. And I've seen, a lot of YouTubers get criticized for not blaming it on the fighters. But it's just like, this does not have to do with the fighter. Terence Crawford wants to fight Errol. Errol wants to fight Terence Crawford. But there's a lot more behind that you have to acknowledge than just pleasing the, the fans or pleasing, us as, boxing enthusiasts. But we got Dub. I'm gonna bring him up in here. What's good with it, Dub, man? How you feeling, Dub?
What's going on, man? What's going on, Goose? Much love to you, brother. Much love to you.
How you feel about the possibility of Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford? Not that it's not happening, but being, possibly pushed to 2023.
This is what I got for you, man. And I want to respect your channel. So I'm gonna try my best to keep my language the right way. Errol Spence,
Go ahead, man.
Bud Crawford, Steven Espinosa, Al Heyman, Bomac, Derek James, the MGM Grand, T-Mobile Arena, the Uber drivers in Vegas, bro. The Uber drivers in Vegas. Fuck them all, bro. Fuck them. I ain't got no. If this fight ain't made, bro, this is one of the fights that I look at as fans of the sport. We deserve this fight. We deserve it. We support the fight. We talk about the fight. The sport of boxing doesn't live in the mainstream media. It lives on YouTube. Me and you, we got connected because of the sport of boxing. You feel me? We get on here and we talk this shit on a regular basis. And if this fight don't get made, bro, I have no respect for any of them. And this is where I'm at with it. I didn't think I would ever get to this point, but if the Deontay Wilder is fighting October 15th, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be on pay-per-view. I buy Wilder pay-per-views. I support Deontay Wilder. Damn it, I'm not buying the pay-per-view if the Bud Spence fight has not been announced and made. I'm not buying this shit. I won't buy another PBC pay-per-view. I won't buy another pay-per-view, period, if Bud Spence don't get made. I know I'm hurting the sport, but at some point in time, I have to come to a realization that as much as I love the sport don't love me. And because that's how I'm really looking at it right now. And I ain't got no respect. Al Heyman, people they want to tell you because Al Heyman, you can criticize Bob Arum, you can criticize Eddie Hearn. Al Heyman is above criticism. Hell no. Hell no.
I never understood the criticism Bob Arum guys. Like, y'all know Bob Arum was like he was one of the main guys back in Muhammad Ali back in the day. But anyway, go ahead.
He put on Bob puts on some of that great, but you can criticize him and it's okay. But if you criticize Al Heyman, all of a sudden you don't like black people, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I never get that. People, it's crazy though because I feel like people are so they're mad short sighted when it comes to that because it's like the only reason why Bob has that look on him is because of Floyd. So it's like I understand our generation in the sense that we love Floyd so much. It's like, well, you did that to Floyd, but I'm like, he didn't even do nothing to Floyd. Like Floyd, like he offered him a contract. Floyd was like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't appreciate that contract. I'm gonna do my own thing. And he ended up doing, you know, a co-promotional deal with Al Heyman. But it's not like, you know, Bob did anything like malicious,
Right.
which is
Agreed.
wild to me. And
And
I'm not over here trying to stick up or I'm a Bob enthusiast or nothing like that. I'm just saying like
you telling the
all
truth.
these promoters in the boxing game, their whole entire reasoning for what they're doing is money. It's business.
To
It's like,
make money. To make money. And at this current moment in time, Al Heyman, and although I do say Bud, I name, you know, I don't think Bud or EJ has anything to do with this fight not happening. I don't think either one of those fighters have anything to do with it. But at the same time, anybody who has anything to do with the fight, regardless of who you are, if the fight ain't made, bro, I got smoke for everybody, bro. Hey, fuck them, bro.
what
Respectfully,
though?
respectfully.
Look, so this is my, you know what I'm saying, because I'm going to pull it up. Like I am going to pull up the article where it has a little bit more detail so we can get an understanding of why there's speculation, why the fight's in jeopardy. But because I always been the person I like to, you know, talk about it, but I also like to show, like, look, I'm not just talking out my ass all the time. Sometimes I like to be corrected. But my theory is, and this is something that will never be actually, you know, put out there, is that I think Al Heyman wants to sign Terence Crawford. And I think he
Definitely.
wants to sign him to a multi-fight. I think in his mind, he's saying, look, Terence, you're a free agent now. You're going through that lawsuit with Bob. Come over here. We can do a 3-fight deal. Your first 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to even fight anybody that you feel like is going to challenge you, but you're going to be under the PBC banner. And all them PBC boys are going to see you and they're going to love you and he's going to grow your fan base. Errol Spence, he hasn't fought for, you know what I'm saying, a long time, except for this year. He had those 2 fights this year, but, you know, he had those injuries. So let him have, you know, 1 fight next year, 2 fight maybe, and then we can make it happen at the end of the year between you and Errol. It's going to be a bigger fight. I think that's what Al Heyman wants. I think, you know what I'm saying, when I found out that, or speculated, allegedly, Terence Crawford agreed to a 65-35 cut, a lot of people were saying, yo, why would you even accept that? That's low, etc. Me personally, I was like, well, he's a free agent, so he's going to be keeping all that, and he got pay-per-view points, but yes, that still is a low, you know, split, especially since he was demanding almost like a 50-50 cut when he was with Bob, but it makes sense. He has to split his earnings. But either way, you still have to sit back and look. And I think that what Al Heyman did was he lowballed Terence. He said, yo, 65-35 cut, pay-per-view points. That's it. Terence said, yeah, okay, let's do that. And then Al was like, wait, hold on, nigga. Like I lowballed you. You supposed to counter me with something better. Like we supposed to go back and forth and negotiate. And I think Terence just agreed to it. So I do believe that it has nothing to do with Earl or Terence, but I do believe that Al has intentions of wanting to sign Terence, and I do not think he has any intentions of doing a one-on, one-off in the sense of you come in, you fight Earl, we have a rematch clause, that's it, and then you go about your way. I think he wants, you know, he wants to be tied in more than that. It's my personal opinion.
Are you familiar with Kid Austin Floyd Schofield?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I think he either 18 or 19, something like that. A hell of a fighter, and I think I definitely think he'll be champion in 35, 40. He gonna be a champion, bro. In my opinion, I done seen the brother fight, and he can fight. Man, they did an interview. Him and his dad. You know, his dad is like his manager and whatever, and so they had an interview that they had. I ain't gonna say any networks, anything like that, but they had an interview, and one of the names they brought up Al Heyman, and Kid Austin, he kind of started laughing about it, and they asked me like, "Man, what you laughing about?" And his dad was like, "Shit, he laughing because they tried to give us a bullshit ass deal. It was a raggedy ass deal they tried to give us, and because you don't know him, he actually signed with Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? He signed with Golden Boy, and he was saying, or his father was saying that you know, in boxing, we're independent contractors. We file 1099s. And because of that, we're a business. We're our own business. And we want our likeness. We want all of our intellectual property. We want all of that. And they were trying to take that away from us. That's what Al Heyman was trying to do in the deal he was trying to give us. And I say that to say this. A lot of the PBC fighters, if you look at how that shit kind of materialized for their careers, and I think we got to be, like I said, we got to be critical of Al Heyman, bro. The same way we're going to be critical of any other promoter, we got to be critical of him, even though he's not, my bad, he's not a promoter. He's an advisor. He's an advisor.
He's a promoter, man.
He a fucking, Tom Brown is technically the promoter, but we know what,
Tom Brown ain't no promoter. Al Heyman is the promoter of that brand.
Facts. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just using the language.
Nigga, I ain't balling it.
I'm just using the language that they use. That's it. I'm just trying to use their language.
Look, I'm happy you here, Dub, because you don't know how long in my mind, like, look, we got to at some point get off the Floyd train. Like, we got to get off the Floyd train. Al Heyman did great things for Floyd in his career. But other than that, let's not act like he's done some very shady things. And that's why, me personally, I'm like, you can criticize Demetrius Andrade. I don't want to go back into that subject. I don't want to backtrack. I'm just saying you can criticize him as far as who he's fought.
And we need to talk about Demetrius Andrade as well later. But go ahead. Go ahead.
But I'm like, you can criticize who he's fought, but you can't criticize the money he's made. Because if you think, I'm like, because we can criticize, who Jamal fought, and he's made great money too, but Andrade was making a clean meal every fight.
Facts.
Over. So I'm like, we have to acknowledge, like, at the end of the day, the way that we just look at certain things because we're saying, okay, this particular promoter, in my personal opinion, I don't like this particular promoter. Oh, I don't really want to listen to what this particular promoter has to say because, this is a narrative I've been fed, or I know the reputation behind this. I don't think you need to do your own research because in my personal opinion, every single promoter has their flaws. Every single promoter, they all looking for money. The same way that, I'm saying, we all got to work for a corporation, whatever the case may be. I'm like, look, they all have their priorities, and their priorities has to do with making money. But when you look at Al Heyman, I'm telling you right now, that man, like when you talking about squeezing all the juice out of the orange, you feel me? Like, don't be blindsided. You know what I'm saying? Be aware.
It ain't even just this nigga. He trying to squeeze juice out of rock, bro. He trying to squeeze juice out the motherfucking rocks. And my thing is, bro, if I'm gonna be critical, and I have been critical of Bob previously, I've been critical of Eddie Hearn before. I gotta be critical of Al Heyman right now, and I'm gonna be more critical of him right now because they said that when we wanted to fight earlier, you know what I'm saying? What they say? Oh well, the size of the streets. Bob don't want to do business with. Well, now all of a sudden, Bud, he done made the move and went over, and he's trying to do business with Al, and we still ain't getting the fight. So,
by the way, quick note: Bob Arum's hoping this continues this way because he'll probably win his lawsuit because he'll basically prove that it wasn't Bob that was keeping the fight from happening; it was PBC. So, if no one's looking that deep, I just wanted to put that out there.
I agree with you. I think Bob, if you go listen to Bob interview, he there was an interview. He said that let me put my Bob voice on. Hold on. The fight's never gonna happen. They're not gonna be able to make the fight because hell no, man.
And he also said the only way they would make the fight if someone's willing to lose money to make the fight. We've seen that happen multiple times in big fights. Niggas is willing to lose. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder was not supposed to be as big as it was. Bob took that chance. Frank Warren took that chance. PBC and Al Heyman, Showtime. Well, Al Heyman didn't really take that chance because Deontay Wilder don't really fuck with Al Heyman like that. People don't want to talk about that, but they took that chance, and it became what it was. Will they take that same chance with Errol, Spence, and Terence Crawford? No, they're not heavyweights. Niggas ain't gonna be getting knocked out like that. We're probably gonna see a 12-round boxing match. So that's my opinion. Go ahead.
But the problem is that we were told for so long the reason that the fight wasn't happening because of the size of the street. That's what we were told as fans, right? So now, and one of the reasons I think I'm as pissed off as I am about the shit is because the fight seemed to be closer than ever before. It seemed like we should be able to. This fight should be able to be made. And now, if it don't get made, like I've been telling everybody, bro, I got smoke for everybody who has anything to do with the fight, bro. And when I say that, I put it in the chat earlier. Whether it's EJ, Bud, Al Heyman, Steven Espinosa, Bomac, Derek James, the MGM Grant, T-Mobile Arena, the driver, the Uber drivers in Las Vegas, nigga. I got smoke for all of y'all just because if this fight don't get made, I promise this. And Goose, I ain't never said this before. I ain't never said this. Deontay Wilder got a fight October 15th. It's a pay-per-view fight. I buy pay-per-views, bro. I buy pay-per-views religiously. I guarantee I will stream that fight and I will not buy another PBC pay-per-view fight if Bud and Spence is not made before that fight. If I do not have an official date for it, fuck them, bro. Fuck them.
All right, so Dub, I ain't bring up the specifics yet, the facts. We're going to pull it up because I haven't read it either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see where the speculation is coming from. But I'm going to tell you right now, just off my personal, you know what I'm saying, intuition, my personal, thought process, hey, you ain't going to be paying for no pay-per-views for anytime soon. That's everything. Because I'm telling you right now. Now, I'm not saying the fight versus Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence won't happen. It's just not going to happen when they said it was going to happen. I do believe it's going to happen. And I do think it all comes down to Al Heyman wanting to sign Terence Crawford to PBC. I think it will happen next year if Crawford goes that route. Excuse me. I just think Crawford's in the mindset where a lot of people are saying this too. And I don't want to be the type of person, you're fanboying off of Crawford. You're putting it on PBC, Al Heyman. I'm not putting on Errol, but they're going to take it as if I'm putting on Errol. I will acknowledge the fact that, yes, there was supposed alleged ties to MTK Global and Canahan. So a lot of people are saying that's a lot of problems coming into play as well. So I don't know. All that is speculation. So I'm not going to make it look I'm on one side or the other. I think there's problems when it comes to both sides. I think there's a lot of problems when it comes to both sides. I think there's a lot of more obstacles in business-wise for this fight to happen than just we're talking about two entities like let's get in the ring, let's sign a contract and go. It's not Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's not that simple.
Agreed. But
it's Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury now. Let's try and make that fight happen now. Let's see how simple that is. So go ahead.
And I think me and you, we done had this conversation. I think you pick EJ. I mean, you pick Bud to win the fight. I pick EJ to win the fight, right? Yeah. No problem either way. No problem. My thing. So
y'all see, we're on different spectrums when it comes to who wins, but
exactly. But we agreed that, and even with me picking EJ, hell no, bruh. The problem is the PBC and Al Heyman. That's the problem. What they really want to do, and I don't know if people know who Al Heyman like that, but Al Heyman used to be in the music industry. Yep. He damn near, in my opinion, I don't know the specifics of the contract, but what I like to say is it seems like he's trying to sign Bud to a 360 deal, bro. He's trying to sign him to a 360 deal where he can get over, he can make the money off the man, you feel me, and more or less utilize him to grow his business. The other thing, and then I'll let you go to the article. The other thing is if you listen to, or not even listen to, look at PBC fighters. Richard Hitchinson, you know what I'm saying? He just went and signed with the Zone. Why did he was signed with Floyd?
You get the bag with Eddie Hearn, boy, if you in the U.S.
But he was signed with Floyd, them, right? And what Floyd tell you? Floyd is Mr. PBC. If you're doing business with Floyd, you're doing business with Al Heyman. If you're doing business with Al Heyman, you're doing business with Floyd. Well, goddamn it, y'all didn't get Richard Hit. And in my opinion, the man, he's an Olympian. He a hell of a fighter, bro. A hell of a fighter. But in 5 years, the nigga got 12 fights. If you sign over with, look at all the Olympians who signed with Top Rank. These niggas fight 4 times a year, bro. 4 times a year.
Bags, bro. Every time.
And, man, at the end of the day, bro, people, and I'm sure maybe I'll get hate for it. Maybe I won't. Maybe people will see where I'm coming from. I don't know. But I do know a lot of people like Al Heyman. And in this situation, the man is wrong. He fucking the sport up. And if you go look at a lot of
come at us, Dub. You ain't supposed to go against. I said they're gonna come at us, Dub. You ain't supposed to go against Al Heyman, man. YouTube boxing community. We supposed to have love for Al Heyman.
Why? Because he black? Nah, fuck that, man.
Yeah, man. Look,
Anybody who doing wrong shit, bro, I keep the same energy, bro.
But that's what bugged me, Dub. I'll be like, bro, how we going to, I'm like, y'all expect us to just support somebody just because, all right, he black. It's like, I'm going to support him if he supports us. And I'm like, Al Heyman, I'm like, y'all be writing off of the fact that what he did for Floyd. We in a new era. Other than Floyd, tell me what he has done good for boxing.
Man,
I'm like, the reason why Hitchison went over to Eddie Hearn is the same reason why Demetrius Andrade went to Eddie Hearn. Kevin Farmer, this ain't new. He'll give you a bag every fight, even if this nigga loses money on the fight.
You get paid, and people are telling me, well, how he pay his fighters better? No. He don't pay the top 5 fighters over there with the PBC. Those are the individuals who get paid better. And if you look at the other individuals, one of my favorite fighters, right, Johnny Rice. Most people don't know who Johnny Rice is. He a heavyweight. You feel me? And he did. I will say he got a good or 2 fights against, I can't remember the brother name, man. I can't remember his name right now. He got 2 fights. He won both of those fights. Got his money. You know what I'm saying? $100,000, whatever. That was a year ago. He ain't fought since. Niggas they ain't got dates over there for the PBC like that. That's why you see all these PBC fighters, what they fight once a year. Why do they fight once a year? Because you ain't got dates for them, and you supposedly got this great stable, but you're not matching the best against the best. Man, stop the cap, man. Stop capping for Al Heyman, because until he shows me that he's really supporting the sport and growing the sport, I got smoke for him. And with him not making this fight, I really got smoke for him. The same way if EJ would have went over to Top Rank and Bob Arum didn't make this fight happen, I have
Bob
smoke.
would have made that fight happen. Bob would have made that fight happen. Golden Boy Promotions would have made that fight happen. The Zone, Eddie Hearn would have made. Frank Warren Promotions would have made this fight.
Max,
bro, people don't.
What's my boy? What's my guy name? Cambosis. What's Cambosis? Oh man, I can't think of his name right now.
What his
promoter.
Oh,
Ludabella would have made this fight happen.
Yes, Ludabella definitely would have made the fight happen.
Man, stop capping for these people.
But you have to understand. A lot of people don't understand, man. Al Heyman, he got to a certain point, man, where he got so big-headed, especially with how much money Floyd was coming in and putting in. He was like, I'm finna be the UFC of boxing. At one point, PBC was contemplating making their whole, they're going to have the same divisions as boxing, but they was thinking about creating their own belts on some UFC shit. Like, that's how, big-headed they got. I remember this because, I'm saying, I'm 100% with you. I'm a big follower when it comes to the MMA side of the game. So I do remember when, Dana White, UFC, they were trying to, obviously MMA is not UFC. One championship is happening tonight. I'm not live streaming it because Demetrius Andrade, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is not fighting, but, I'm always, Bellator, all that. I love it all. But what I'm saying is they were trying to break into the boxing, side of the game. And I saw Al Heyman and what they were doing at one point, and they thought, we're going to just make it seem like, hey, if you're part of the PBC, you're the best fighters. And let's not act like that hasn't worked, because let's be honest, if you talk to a lot of people who say they know boxing, they'll tell you the best boxers are with PBC, and that's not even true.
They lying to you if they tell you that. They
not
lying.
Even close. I'm like, boxing is such a universal sport. It's like, nigga, you don't know who the best boxers is. You don't understand boxing if you really think one, I'm like boxing is like, that's so disrespectful to boxing as an art when I hear motherfuckers say that. But a lot of people say it. They'll be like, well, especially with the 147 division. Terence Crawford didn't fight nobody. Look who Errol Spence fight. He fight Ugas. He fought Sean Porter. I'm like, have you watched any of these 147s at top rank? Just because you don't know who their name is doesn't mean they're not skilled. But
it's ridiculous, and I'm glad that I'm mad. First off, I'm mad that it's happening the way that it's happening, but I'm glad as well because, damn it, now maybe some of y'all will see. Man, keep the same. If you're gonna be a fan of boxing, one reason, Goose, if you go live, I don't always pull up, but I try to pull up. One reason is because I feel like you're a fan of the sport. I know you got favorite fighters, but you're a fan of the sport, and we can talk damn near any division. You feel me? And you can't do that with everybody. But me and you, it seems like we do that on a regular basis. Zen as well. And the thing is so if that's going to be the case for us to keep it a buck, then when we look at how people are maneuvering, bro, we gotta have smoke for Al Heyman now. We got, man. You just don't understand how pissed off I am, bro. Hey, anywhere I done been today, bro. Guess what, man? Fuck all of them. Fuck them.
So let me say this, because I'm like, we haven't gotten into it yet. I'm gonna bring up the specifics. Y'all heard our speculation, allegedly, is what we think, etc. The reasoning why, you know what I'm saying, people are saying this fight may not happen. I will say the summary of my whole entire everything that I'm saying is just simply, I've been saying, and y'all can look back at, previous, videos I made on this particular fight. Whenever, I talked about, the fight supposedly happened in November, I said, I'm never going to believe it until I actually see the signed paperwork or I see them in the ring. I think this fight's going to happen in 2023. I don't think this fight is not going to happen. I think it's going to happen next year. It just makes more sense, in my personal opinion. But what is your before we get into the actual factual, you know what I'm saying? Or hopefully it's factual, we'll see. But the article, what's your thoughts on it?
Goose, you and I believe I got on here and I told you, I was like, nah, this shit gonna happen, bro. It's happening November 19th. You feel me? I believe I told you this. And I'm one of the individuals. I don't went as far as damn near buying tickets and or buying or hotels, Airbnbs, trying to set shit up so I can be at the fight. And now all of a sudden, luckily for me, or not even luckily, because it wasn't signed, sealed, and delivered, I looked and I was like, okay, once they give it to me, I'm gonna do it. And now it seems like I did the right thing by not going ahead and just doing it, because this shit ain't finna happen, bro, on November 19th. And man, fuck, you just don't understand the frustration that I have right now, bro. Like, I hate, the fans deserve this fight. The fans do. YouTube boxing, this is where the sport lives. The sport, ESPN, they ain't covering it the way they ain't talking boxing the way me and you talking boxing, bro. It's not happening. And with us being here, it's so disrespectful to the fan base of the sport of boxing if this fight don't get made this year. This year. Now, and you could be right. Maybe it does get made. Maybe things get ironed out and it happens. And I hope it does, regardless. I want to see the fight regardless, bro. I really just want to see the fight. But at the same time, I'm not putting my dollars into any of this shit no more after what I'm seeing right now, bro. I'm not putting my money into none of it.
All right. So I gotta say nothing but respect to Dub, man. You know what I'm saying? Very respectable.
I apologize for ranting, bro. I apologize.
Bruh, don't ever apologize for a rant, man. This whole entire thing is about ranting. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate everything you're saying. As you can see, we're coming when it comes to this particular, and this is the only thing I got to say 100%. 100%. Boxing News 24, they put a lot of their opinions in their articles. All right. So, this ain't boxingscene.com. If it was boxingscene.com, I'll be like, yo, this shit is clear cut dry. This is the realest shit. Boxing News 24 on the other side, like they'll be like, yo, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford ain't gonna happen. But the only reason it's not gonna happen because Errol Spence ain't ever fought nobody and he ain't really that guy. And I'm like, man, what the fuck about read? Like, nigga, I like so I love Boxing News 24. I've been reading, watching, getting a lot of my news from Boxing News 24 from a long time. But I do know that I can't just read everything word for word when it comes to Boxing News 24. So
look, hey, real quick, Boxing News 24 is like CNN, it's like Fox News.
It'd be like, I'd be like, nigga, I didn't ask for your opinion. I was just looking for the straight. So it's a lot of times when I read articles off of Boxing News 24, I just go to the quotes. I'd be like, let me see the quotes. Let me read the quotes. That's legit. So if a lot of this is just somebody, speculating, they ain't gonna know any more than what I know. They ain't gonna know any more than Dub Rightside know. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. But it's almost like I'm like just killing the credibility of this particular article. But let's see. They might have a couple quotes that we can go off of. So it's saying Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford is in jeopardy. This is coming from Chris Williams. Though let me get some of these ads up out of this bitch. So the November 19th undisputed welterweight clash between unified champion Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford is currently in jeopardy over the contract. So it's over the contract stipulations. WBO 147 champion Crawford wants transparency to the expenses for the event because he's not getting a guaranteed purse. How you feel about that, Dub? That's news to me. He said he's not getting a guaranteed purse. How you feel about
I've heard that even so when they talk about, I think they say what 65, 35, whatever.
that? Yeah, is that all pay-per-view points?
And this is my problem. I ain't no way Bud ain't finna get. You tell me a fighter that done fought and didn't get any guaranteed money up front. Tell me one. You tell me one.
I don't know any, but but doesn't that low ball fall with the same line of Al Heyman low balling the hell out of Terence Crawford? And Terence Crawford might have just been like, yeah, let's do it. I just want to fight.
Bud did not agree. I refuse to believe Bud is, and I will tell you, I'm not a big fan of Bomac. I'm not a big fan of Bomac. But
me neither. I really hope he has nothing to do with the business side of Bud. I don't think he does, but yeah, me neither.
No, he's Bud's manager, so he's in the he's negotiating for Bud. Unfortunately, but I'm not a fan of him. But I'm a huge fan. Ain't no way Bud ain't getting no guaranteed money, bro. If you want to sit here and tell me that Al Heyman, and if it's true, it makes Al Heyman look that much more worse to me.
It's sleazy, bro. Because I'm like, even if Bomac is Terence Crawford's manager, the reason why Terence Crawford's been getting, I used to be a real numbers guy, and that's why nobody ever watched my shit before when I used to do this shit. But I used to be a real numbers guy, and Terence Crawford was getting paid a meal when Adrian Broner was getting paid a meal, which basically meant that the only other people that was getting paid a meal during that time was people who were pay-per-view guys. So Terence Crawford's always got good deals. Bob Aaron's always done them right. Is that in due to Bomac being his manager? I don't know. I don't want to talk no shit. I don't want to have nothing, but no, it had nothing to do with Bomac being anyways. But
the reason Bud was getting that money is because Bud is a hell of a fighter. That's why.
And Bob knew it and gave him the money for it. Bob, to this day, they just interviewed Bob like 2-3 weeks ago. Who you think is going to win if Errol Spence and Terence Crawford has? Oh, I think Terence Crawford wins. Yeah. You in a lawsuit with the man, and he don't want to come back to you, and you still saying Terence Crawford wins?
Man,
you can't tell me that nigga ain't no I gotta believe. Go ahead.
One thing I respect about Bob. Bob he old
like it is. He too old to lie, nigga.
Bro, you know my great grandmother, right? I was raised by my great grandmother. My great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother. My great grandmother, man, when she got about 80, bro, man, I don't care who you was, nigga. I don't care who you was. She gonna tell it how it is. You feel me? She don't give a damn. She gonna tell you.
Bob 90, what, 92?
Man, who knows how old Bob is? Bob done been 90 for the last 3 years, bro.
Yeah, that's true. He's been in his 90s for a while now. I'm like, when I was a young gun, Bob was supposedly in his late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Bob done been 90 for 3 years. So, you know, I don't know how old the man is, but what I do know is that he gonna tell it like it is. And when he come out, if you go back and if you listen to him, and I'm gonna bring this all back around. If you listen to what he said about Kambosos and Devin Haney, what he said, man,
talk about it. That's a great point. I love it. Yeah, go ahead,
bro. Devin should win this fight easy. That's what Bob said. And the reason Bob said, Bob know boxing, bro. He know the nigga been in boxing.
About how much money he gave Devin Haney for that. Like Bob does give money out, but he gave Devin a lot. Like he gave Devin enough money to be like, yo, go ahead and leave it. How much money? How many American promoters are giving enough money for a boxer to leave Eddie Hearn? Not too many.
Well, but this is the thing. So even the money, he didn't give. Well, I'm not going to say he didn't, because Eddie was paying Devin about $3 million a fight, right? Whereas
Bob gave him about $1 million.
No, Bob gave him 2.8 for the Kambosos fight.
Talk about it. Correct me. You just made my point. When is Bob doing some shit like that?
Hold on, but what people don't talk about is in Australia, it was a pay-per-view fight. And so outside of that 2.8 million, you feel me? Devin also got like 45% of the pay-per-view revenue as well.
So he made more money with Bob.
Exactly.
But doesn't this go along the line of saying that, yo, like this idea of Al Heyman is just like benefiting the fighters is crazy. It's like, y'all got to open your eyes. Like Bob is paying these niggas. Eddie Hearn is paying these niggas. Like Motherfuckers is making big bags off of these promoters.
Al
Oscar
Heyman
De
is
La Hoya is paying these dudes.
Al Heyman is paying niggas. The problem is he only paying certain individuals. He only paying certain people. If you're not at the top of the
Who is
stable,
Al Heyman? But who is Al Heyman paying? Let's be 100. Who is Al Heyman paying?
so I'll give you the rundown. EJ, Errol Spence. Earl gets paid well fighting, and a lot of it is what they would call, what quote unquote what back
Real
end
quick,
money, right?
Is
Go ahead.
Errol making though Terence Crawford money? Is Errol making, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Some of these names that we was talking about signed with some of these other promotions. Is he making that type of money?
This is
Devin
the problem.
Haney money?
Hold on.
Teofimo Lopez money? Is he really making that type of money?
This is the problem. The problem is I can't say yay or nay. The reason I can't is because in any other state that you fight in, I can go in and
That's true. That's true.
outside of Vegas, outside of Nevada, any other state, I can go and request the pay-per-view number. I could go request that and get that information. In Vegas,
real quick, so Dub, keep talking your shit. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Keep talking your shit, Dub.
in Vegas, you can't go get that information. And because you can't get that information in Vegas, we really don't know what a lot of these fighters are making, especially when a lot of these fights are happening under the PBC. Now, when we talk about Errol Spence, I can tell you this, and this is something that one of my sources kind of went and sent me the paperwork on. They spoke on the 30,000 people who in the Ugas fight. They spoke on that and, what the pay-per-view numbers were for the Ugas fight, and how even though it only seemed to be, I think EJ was guaranteed 1.5 million or something like that. That was the guarantee, but the back end did end up being like $6 million or something for Errol Spence, and it was a good. I think it was. I believe it was like 4.5 or something like that for Ugas. But at the same time, they did make a nice amount on the back end. We can go find those numbers. The problem is when you go to Vegas, you can't get that information. And so, and if you ever notice, the PBC, they hide their numbers. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, all I'm saying is that Al Heyman, the man, what it seems like is the man is a crook. That's what it seems like. He's a crook. And I want to hold this point because I want to hear Goose. I want to hear Goose respond to it. And so I apologize if I'm ranting, y'all. I apologize, but man, y'all make sure y'all tune in. Smash the like button, man. Goose, he doing great work over here. Make sure y'all smash this man like button and y'all showing him love because he doing his thing. And man, I got a lot of love for the brother, man. A lot of love for him. He always gives me the opportunity to get on here and talk and do my rants and shit. So, but it's just this shit is disgraceful. It's disgraceful what's going on in the sport of boxing, and for Al Heyman to be at the head of kind of what's going on in this situation, right? Everybody always say, "Well, we can't be mad at Al." No, hell no. We can be mad at Al now. Now we can keep it a buck. And we can have smoke for Al. Why not? Why wouldn't we? I'm a black man, Goose a black man, right? If me and him we doing some foul shit, why wouldn't y'all call us out on it? Y'all should call us out on it. Same thing with Al Heyman. If he doing some foul shit, we need to keep it a buck and call his ass out on what he doing. And what we seeing right now is foul shit from him. And so at the end of the day, man, if the fight don't get made this year, once again, like I said, I ain't got no respect for him. And until Bud EJ get made, you won't see. I will not buy another pay-per-view from the PBC. I refuse to. And my bad. Once again, I'm ranting, bro. I'm ranting.
Are you good? You was supposed to rant during that time because I had to, take my little break. So I appreciate you for that, Dub. No, look, I will say this, because you know what I'm saying. Yeah, for the little bit I heard at the very end, I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. I understand, what I'm saying, the frustration you have when it comes to this fight happening. But regardless, we have to, at the very end of the day, acknowledge that there's a lot more going on when it comes to this fight happening. There's a lot more going on when it comes to this particular fight actually being able to be made more than just the two fighters wanting to fight each other. Spence versus Crawford, Crawford versus Spence. I think Terence Crawford wants to fight, Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence wants to fight Terence Crawford, but I think there's just so much more going on, right? That's why we have this article in front of us, guys. This is coming from Mike Carpenter, but I'm going to start from the beginning. WBO 147 champion, Terence Crawford. Transparency to the expenses for the event because he's not getting a guaranteed he's not getting a guaranteed purse. And that's what I talked about a little bit with Dub right there. I'm like, that's crazy. And he said he heard speculation there was a possibility of him not getting a guaranteed purse. And I think, it's only fair that, there's some question marks coming from Crawford's team saying like, yo, I want to know the ins and outs. It seems like, just from that particular sentence, he was given a contract. He was agreeing to the terms that was at hand, but he wanted a little bit more clarification on how he's going to get paid. And in my personal opinion, that probably means that, like, yo, if I'm getting pay-per-view points, I need that clarified here if I'm not getting a guaranteed purse. It seems like he's going to be getting paid off.
Wait a minute, real quick, Goose. Can I just want to say, you missed only thing I said previously that I wanted you to hear. You tell me another fighter, even when it was Ugas, right? When Ugas and Spence fought, there was, even though it was, I think it was Ugas got $1 million up front, and then he got a percentage of the quote unquote back end. Same, and EJ got, I think, 1.5 up front, but then another percentage of the back end. Ain't no way you could tell me, but he shouldn't get ain't getting no guaranteed money, bro. None.
That's stop
the cap, bro. Stop.
But Dub, that goes back to what we were talking about when it comes to Al Heyman. Like, because I'm like, what I do for a living is about like, negotiating and stuff like that. So I understand someone coming in with a low ball, assuming you're not going to accept it. And then Crawford says, yeah, let's do it. And you're like, wait, hold up. But no, you were supposed to say no, and you're supposed to make it hard on me. And then I was supposed to offer you, you can get a 3-fight deal worth $180 million with my promotional team. You see what I'm saying?
No,
that goes back to the fact of I really do like we're talking about Ugas. He was signing to PBC. I'm like, these guys were signing to Al Heyman and PBC. You telling me that Al Heyman isn't looking to sign Crawford when he's a free agent?
I do think he is. My thing is if you want to sit here and tell me that you're looking to sign somebody, ain't no way you fit to sit there. If you really want to sign them, you're not fit to not give them guaranteed money up front. Plus, if it is 35% versus 65%, I don't know that to be facts. I done heard that reported. And matter of fact, one of my sources.
Before you go on, I agree with that in the fact, like, okay, you're not gonna offer that to someone that you want to sign them. How about this? Always be like, say you Al Heyman, like ask, like, hey, yo, I'm gonna sign you to promote. Like, ask me.
My nigga R West in the building. Salute to my nigga. That's my brother.
R West. Yeah, my bad. Salute to R West. We got the link up in there if you want to join R West, by the way. But like say you Al Heyman, you know, I'm Terence Crawford. You want to sign me? Like, just ask me the question.
Say it again.
I just asked the question, like, yo, you Al Heyman, I'm Terence Crawford, and you just asked, you asking basically you want to sign me, or you saying, hey, yo, I want to sign you.
So if I want to sign you, I'm gonna ask the question, right? And then I'm gonna tell you after you respond to it, I'm gonna give my response to it. We're gonna sign you, right? We want you to sign a 3-fight deal. Now you're gonna get your money on the back end. You're gonna get 35% on the back end, but we're not gonna guarantee you nothing up front. Are you willing to take that deal?
If you want me to be honest with you, even if you give me something up front, I still want to take the deal. I'm my own man.
No, hold on. No. Wait. Now, okay.
I'm responding as Terence Crawford. I'm basically, I truly believe if you would have gave me something up front, if you would have not gave me something up front, I would have said, look, man, I'm 34 years old. I'm going on 35. I'm not going to go into a promotional deal where I'm splitting 50-50 with someone anymore. I did that with Bob Arum all this time. And I don't even know if it was 50-50, but I'm my own promotional. We got to do a co-promotional deal, which Al Heyman does not do. Let's talk about that. He does not do co-promotional deals unless it makes sense. The only people who do that, you've seen Golden Boy Promotions do it. You've seen DAZN do it. You've seen Top Rank do it. But Al Heyman is You have not seen him do co-promotional deals. He does not
We
like that.
we
He
have
wants to be the promoter.
we have seen Al. We have seen it.
Who we talking
This
about?
is hold on, and
Don't you say Floyd?
only reason I say I looked this up previously.
Don't say Floyd.
I can't. I'm not gonna call any names. I'm not gonna call any names. I'm not calling no names. What I will say is if you go look at PBC fighters that go across the street and fight other fighters, I believe the record is like 4-13 as far as wins. You know what I'm
That's not
saying?
the point. I'm saying we're talking about Crawford. We're wondering why he doesn't just want to sign this fight with Al Heyman and with PBC is because I truly believe Crawford does not want to fight a full promotional deal with any promotion. I think he wants to do co-promotional deals. And Al Heyman's not having that. You got to be signed with me, bro.
Can I ask you this? Did you know this? Let me ask you this, Goose. Bud,
yeah, Wilder and Fury, he had no choice for that.
Bud just signed, or Bud just started his own the same way EJ got Man Down Promotions, Bud just signed, just started his promotional brand, right?
By the way, there's a difference. Man Down Promotions was started within the entity of Al Heyman and PBC.
Agreed.
Terence Crawford is outside. He is just himself. It's like what Triple G did. Triple G, he's on the Triple G side of the game. He's on the Canelo side of the game.
Oh, Wes, bring your ass up here, bro. Come on. Come talk this shit, bro. Because you're typing. I want to hear what you got to say.
I don't like that, R. West, because I'm like, you got to get in the chat because I'm like, you talking about he's a horrible businessman. You crazy. He's been making, like, he's made a meal every fight, and he's not even a pay-per-view fighter.
But Goose, we agreed on this. We did agree on this. We did agree that because Bud has allowed Bomac to be more or less the manager for him, we neither one of us like it, and Bomac.
Well, allegedly, Dub, Bomac was the manager, but the nigga making the business moves was the person who's they trying to get him, Kinahan.
Man, Kinahan wasn't making the motherfucking. The nigga Kinahan was not, bro. But Bud went over and fought with Kinahan for. He had a dinner with him and shit. Kinahan never had the opportunity to really do anything for Bud because Bud was signed, but he was signed with Bob. You feel me? And after he left Bob, that's when they talked about the MTK Global. That's when they were talking about him signing over there with them, but he never signed with them.
He never signed with them, but he was advised by them. But the reason why he was advised by them, real quick, I don't know if you knew this, but the reason why he was advised by them is because he was with Bob Arum so long, and I'm not allegedly.
Bob do business with Kinahan, bro.
Allegedly, supposedly, I don't know how true that is, but
bro, it's all the way true. Ain't no way Tyson Fury is working with Top Rank, and we saw him work with Top Rank.
Yeah,
whatever. Okay, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly.
Think about this: Tyson Fury has a double co-promotional deal. He has a deal with Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotion, and he has a deal with Bob Arum and Top Rank, and he has a deal with MTK Global, Kinahan, and he still makes over 20 fucking million.
But look at this. Hold on, but look at it. This is the thing. So when we say he has I want to throw Tyson Fury away for a quick second, just a quick second. The reason being is so I can bring the correlation in, if that makes sense. So look at how what's Josh Taylor, right? Josh Taylor, he was doing business with who? Top Rank, but he was also doing business with who? MTK Global, right? Yeah. And so when all of those fighters that were doing business on both sides, MTK Global, they was working directly with Top Rank and Bob Arum. This is how you know. This is how you know for a fact. When they started to investigate Daniel Kinahan, who was the first motherfucker to come out and say, we ain't got no business with him? Bob Arum. Bob disowned Kinahan.
That's smart though, because he really doesn't have any business with him. The only business he
definitely got business with him. He definitely do.
Nah, it's only Tyson Fury that he has business with him.
So Josh Taylor didn't have anything to do. Why can't Josh Taylor come fight in the United States now?
But see, I'm like, if we're gonna talk about Josh Taylor, I'm like, Josh Taylor didn't come until after Tyson Fury. So I'm like, I really do truly believe that Bob Arum and Top Rank, they had no business, because I'm like, that's an overseason.
Man, they definitely the reason Bob came out and disowned this shit is because they had business dealings. That's why he came out and did what he and said what he said, because they had business dealings. And knowing Bob Arum, being a Harvard lawyer, you feel me? He know individuals who in the State Department and shit like that. They gave the nigga the heads up. He knew it was coming, and he came out and disowned Kinahan because he knew that the smoke was coming, bro. He knew that was coming, and so he had to try to get in front of it. He
Now,
definitely has.
I'm not saying he doesn't know whether or not be the case, whether he knows where he doesn't know, but I am saying that I don't think he has a heavy involvement with,
let me ask you
what was going on. I don't think
let
he
me
has
ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this, and then I want to we can move forward. But and I apologize. I ain't trying to run your show, bro. I apologize for that. But
I love the randomness, man. It's Fluence Friday. Like, I'm like, when it comes to Fluence Friday, nigga, ain't nothing but, you know what I'm saying, up in the air. Go ahead.
Fuck, it is what it is. So if Bob Arum wasn't doing business with Kinahan like that, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about Josh Taylor right now.
And we're not talking about a lot of business too. Let's talk about that. We're not talking about a lot of business.
I'm not saying he had a ton. I'm not saying every deal he did anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he was doing business with the man. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And so if it's not true, then if you remember this, and tell me if I'm wrong about it. When Josh, after Josh Taylor became undisputed at 40, they were talking about Josh moving up to fight who? Bud. Yeah. At 47. Why were they talking about him fighting Bud? They were talking about him fighting Bud because both of them were doing business with Top Rank. That's why they were talking about that fight being made.
But see, you look at it differently than I do. I don't look at it as in a sense of something supposed to be putting together where it's, a matrimony made in heaven. The way I see it is Josh Taylor took a gamble. I'm like, a lot of people don't realize that to a lot of people in their eyes, they thought he lost to Catterall. They thought he should have rematched Catterall. I personally thought
he's rematching.
Let me finish.
My bad.
Put everything together. I'm like, a lot of people thought he lost to Catterall. So with a lot of people thinking he lost to Catterall, a lot of people are saying, well, you need to rematch Catterall. But in Taylor's mind, before this fight happened, he's already had a plan. I beat Catterall. I signed with Top Rank, because if you follow Josh Taylor, I was a big fan of Josh Taylor. The reason why I'm a big fan of Josh Taylor, because I'm actually a big fan of Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis ended up losing to Josh Taylor. So I ended up becoming a big fan of Josh Taylor, because obviously you gotta respect the opponent wherever it happens. Absolutely, I love Regis Prograis. He's one of my favorite fighters. So with that being the case, Josh Taylor being in the situation he is, he already planned to want to fight Terence Crawford. There's interviews, there's interactions, there's things that he said saying, my whole entire end goal was to fight Terence Crawford. He signed to Top Rank, similar, and it's like, people don't listen to this. I wish I was a bigger channel so people can really understand what the real is. The same way, in the sense that y'all want to criticize Demetrius Andrade, he had a particular plan, but it all got derailed. Why did it get derailed? Because Canelo lost to Bivol. That changes everything. That changes all the trajectory. Josh Taylor could not have the same mindset and the same game plan when he found out that Terence Crawford left Top Rank. So do you understand? Like people don't realize as much. I criticize Josh Taylor as much as well. And by the way, I give credit to him because supposedly the next fight for Josh Taylor is going to be Jack Catterall, even though he talks a lot of shit. May seem like it's not going to happen. That's probably going to be his next fight because it makes the most sense.
But it's supposed to be a
catchweight. But real quick, but all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, there's all this criticism. But it's like people just don't realize what's really going on. They're not paying a lot of attention, in my personal opinion. That's all I got to say at the end of the day. It's like I'm not leaning toward nothing. I'm not pre-speculating anything. I'm just like, this is what's being presented to us. This is what's happening right now. And it's like, you got to acknowledge it. I'm like, you can have your fanism, but that's the case.
So now I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna ask one question, and then I know you want to move on. I apologize again. If Josh Taylor was simply doing business with Top Rank, which we know he wasn't. He was doing business with MTK Global as well, Daniel Kinahan.
Yeah, Global and
we know that. We know that. But MTK Global and Top Rank were doing business together as well. That's why Josh Taylor was able to or had the opportunity to go fight Bud at 47. Hold on, wait a minute. And so I say that to say this. The reason I feel this way is because, and like you, and I ask you to debunk anything I'm saying or tell me I'm wrong. I have no problem. The reason I say it is because Josh Taylor is not allowed to fight in the States right now. Why can't he fight in the States? Because he was doing business with Daniel Kinahan. He can't fight in the States. And so because of that, if the fight that they were talking about was going to be with Bud at 47, it shows that Josh Taylor was doing business with Kinahan and Kinahan was doing business with Errol. It's all connected.
No. What I'm not disputing the fact that there was business being made between between Kinahan and Josh Taylor. MTK Global, that's evident. The fact that you're trying to tie together Top Rank, a U.S. company, a U.S. promotion, tie it in with a overseas promotion, that I don't see, because the only time I see, Bob Arum, and I'm like, doesn't mean not sticking up for him, and it seems like it's coming off that way, but I'm like, at the end of the day, when it comes to Bob Arum, I'm like, the only people that I see associated with that is a Josh Taylor, which he did sign, and I don't think that's in the intentions of, okay, we're going to align ourselves when it comes to MTK Global and Tyson Fury. I think it's just the biggest fight. And like at the time when he signed Tyson Fury, no one knew what was going on with MTK Global. Now, most U.S. boxing fans didn't even know what MTK Global was unless y'all watched UK, boxing fights. So
real boxing fans.
Yeah, so I'm like, in my particular opinion, I'm like, it's like I don't think Bob Arum was necessarily doing business with that particular company. I think he was mostly like, this was the talent. And me personally, I thought Josh Taylor versus Terence Crawford would be a big fight. I think Bob Arum was looking, he signed Josh Taylor because I don't think he knew he was going to lose Terence Crawford. I think he thought he was paying him good money. He thought he was going to keep him. And he probably thought like, yo, Josh Taylor is a dude. Like, maybe I can't get you the Errol Spence fight, but Josh Taylor's a good fight. That's what I personally think. That's how I feel about it. But
real quick, and then is that my brother? Is that my brother R West in the building?
R West is in the building, man. What's good with R West? What's what I'm saying?
Before I let him go, I just want I'm gonna say one thing. Man, Bud would have beat the dog shit out of goddamn Josh Taylor, but he'll beat the dog shit out of his ass. Respectfully.
Josh West was more. R West, anything you guys say, about anything we talking about, man. Just chime in, man.
First off, that's facts. First let me just say thank y'all fellas for allowing me to join the panel. I appreciate it as always. And then Josh Taylor and Bud, man, I don't think that'd be a good fight. I'm sorry. I think he'll wax his ass. Would you say right side?
No, let me ask. I want to real quick, Doug. Let me ask. I want to ask R West this. So how do you feel about the possibility, since me and Dub have been talking about it for a minute, how do you feel about it? Because I do want to go on the next topic, but how do you feel about the possibility of Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence being postponed? I personally think the fight will happen. I think it's going to happen in 2023. I don't know how Dub feels. Some may feel like it's just all just smoke and mirrors. But how do you feel about the fact that it's probably not going to happen in an expected date that we all thought it was going to happen, which was, around that November 2022 date?
So it's a couple things. I don't think that the fight happens November 19th. I mean, timing, I just don't see how you do that. And then, the fight, it has promoted itself, but I'm a huge Errol Spence fan. I'm a Bud Crawford fan too. I just don't think that outside of like real boxing fans, this is one of them fights where you need casuals to be a part of. You got to promote the fight more than what's been done. Like they don't really talk like that. So to me, a lot of people don't know. Like, I think that us boxing fans, we love the sport so much that we don't realize that like the sport ain't it's not as big as we think it is. A lot of people don't know Terence Crawford. A lot of people don't know Errol Spence. I mean, as big a fan as I am of him, I feel like most people learned of Errol Spence because of the car accident. It was on TMZ. It was on more things. I just feel like the casual, like that's how they learned of him. So you have to do. It's not enough time. Then I was like, all right, well, because so the rumors was that Errol was gonna fight on that date regardless. I don't know if that's gonna happen because I mean he wasn't. I guess he wasn't in camp yet, but he was still kind of doing some training. A video was posted. It looked like he in Disney World with his kids and stuff right now. So I'm like, well, maybe he know the
Talk
fight.
about it, R. West. R. West is an Errol Spence fan. Talk about it, nigga.
Look like he may be in Disney, so you know the fight gonna happen. So I'm like, all right, maybe that's a positive thing that he's saying. I'm not fighting in November now. You know, I'm not gonna take the fight in November. And he knows that he gonna fight Bud probably in probably in January or February or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't see them being able to push it off too much longer, but I think that is kind of positive that maybe they will go ahead and have the fight. But
so real quick, you think the fight will happen, but you just saying it's not going to happen in the time frame that they're saying is going to happen.
Yes, I mean, to me, it kind of has to happen. Like, I look at it like the only options, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what options Bud has. Like, I don't know if Josh Taylor, I mean, that can't be no option no more. If you with Bob Arum, I don't see him going back to ESPN. Maybe I take that back.
Co-promotional deals.
Virgil Ortiz, I don't even see that happening. I don't see them putting Virgil. I don't see them putting Virgil Ortiz in
Earl Charlo.
That can't. If he don't fight Earl, he's not fighting Charlo. Like, to me, when they talk about that, that's all cap. It's the same suits. It's the exact same people. It's you literally replacing Errol Spence and Charlo, and that's it. They got the same trainer. Like, that's literally the only thing you're replacing. And it looks like, from my understanding, that Al Heyman, he in all the essence of the word, he a businessman. He's not finna give you Charlo if you didn't take Spence. Like, that's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. That's just not gonna happen.
Can I ask, I want to ask you a question, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug. Yeah, get in.
So right now, bro, I got a lot of smoke for Al Heyman, bro. I got a lot of smoke for Al Heyman.
Let me ask you why. Why do people have smoke for Al Heyman? Because to me, Al Heyman is easy to point the finger at because he don't say nothing back, or not even back. He don't talk at all. So it's like Oscar blaming stuff on Al Heyman, or Bob Arum blaming stuff on Al Heyman. You can always blame it on Al because he don't say nothing.
Man, look, this is you know me, bro. The reason I got smoke for Al Heyman is this. I done had smoke for Bob Arum. I done had when fights that I want to see haven't been made. I got smoke for Bob Arum. I done had smoke for Eddie Hearn. I done had smoke when Oscar De La Hoya sat there and Jaime Munguia was trying to fight Charlo, and what happened? Oscar De La Hoya was like, "Nah, if it don't happen this way, the fight ain't gonna happen." And the fight didn't happen. I got smoke for Oscar. Now with Bud leaving, goddamn top rank, with him leaving top rank, going over trying to make the fight happen with the PBC, and I think this fight. I thought this fight was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna happen, and now I'm very skeptical of it. I'm very skeptical. If I got smoke with these other promoters, right? Although they'll tell me that Al Heyman is an advisor, he's not the promoter. Tom Brown is the promoter, whatever. I got smoke with Al Heyman the same way I had smoke with goddamn Bob and Eddie and Oscar. I got smoke with Al Heyman now because the biggest fight in boxing ain't being made, and I'm looking at Al Heyman and I'm blaming Al Heyman for this shit, bro. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna put it like this because I listened to what you just said, and the reason why you said you blamed Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn, when you blame the other promoters, you said and Oscar, you said because of what they said. My only thing about this, and I don't have no allegiance for Al Heyman. My only thing is that it's really hard for me to place blame on Al. It's hard for me to place blame on anybody because the facts are I don't like. Everybody got all these sources and what's coming out here. The facts are nobody knows. Like, I remember all these dudes who claim they from Texas and how much they know about Earl, and they got all these channels and all this stuff. I ain't heard not a one of them tell me that Earl was going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Earl posted. I never heard that before. So to me, it's like everybody say, "Oh, this comes out and that comes out." The facts are, I really don't know. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know who to point the finger at. As big of a fan as Earl Spence, I'm a huge boxing fan. I would point the finger at him if it came out that Terence Crawford really agreed to all this stuff, and then Errol was kind of the one who was putting up the monkey, the wrench in there.
Can I ask this real quick? Because you said you don't think that Bud accepted 35%, right?
I said I don't think he would accept that. I don't think he would accept 35%.
Why?
I think that his ego, and I think that him looking at the payday and him saying, "I have something that you want." Like Bud always says, "I'm a Hall of Famer regardless," and he puts it on because I've been undisputed already.
So let me ask you this, R. West. How do you feel about the Demetrius Andrade Zach Parker situation? And Demetrius Andrade not taking the fight because of money.
Wait a minute, hold up. Wait,
I gotta hear this. Because I'm going to something. Like, how do you feel about that?
It is so hard for me to speak on that because, man, I admit I cannot get over my bias. I just, it's something about Doodoo. I just do not, man. That dude is. I just. All right. So I don't even want to speak on that.
That was enough. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. So I'm very biased. How can you put a cape on for Crawford when he's saying I ain't getting enough money when it comes to this fight, but when it comes to Demetrius Andrade, he do.
Man, it's not even about this situation. I'm just not.
It's the same thing. It's about money.
But my thing for him is I don't. It's stuff about him that I just don't like. All that damn talking he does. Like,
but that's my point. I'm like, it doesn't matter how you. It doesn't matter how you feel. If we're talking about just business, if we're just talking about just business in this particular situation, we're talking about Bud versus Errol Spence. Bud will take the 35%, and I know it's like, it seems low. He's a free entity now, so he doesn't have to split that down the middle. Supposedly, he was supposed to get 35% of whatever revenue was made, and he was supposed to get pay-per-view points. All of a sudden, what me and Dub Rightside learned about tonight, there was no guaranteed purse. So apparently, he was only supposed to get pay-per-view points. And Terence is like, this is not what I agreed to. And this is what I come down to. Like, I'm like, when you work something when like you're you're talking about like, sales or whatever the case may be, you're gonna lowball someone. And I really feel like Al Heyman and PBC lowballed Terence Crawford for the 65-35 split. And Crawford was like, yeah, I'll take it. Because this is a lot of money I'm gonna still make because I assume I'm gonna get pay-per-view points and there's gonna be a lot of pay-per-view sold. Once that was found out, a contract was now they changed it up, put some different shit on it, and now they're saying like, well, okay, now this is a stipulation. And now Terence Crawford's like, wait, hold up, man. Now, like, look, I agreed to the first, but now you really trying to rob me. You ain't gonna make me look bad because I truly believe Al Heyman and PBC want to sign Terence Crawford for at least 3 to 4 fight deal to make the most out of this situation. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, Doug. I don't even want to come in.
I just got a question for y'all. So where do we get because I've heard people saying that in terms of with the no guarantee. I mean, the guarantees are so low at PBC. I literally don't understand why there would not be some form of a guarantee. I mean, the guarantees, when you see that if the numbers are true that they usually report, I mean, the guarantees are very low, which is how it would work if you're going to take the back end money. I mean, that's how it works. It's like if you look at because I got a couple friends who had some contracts, and the person told them, like, one of them, he a personal trainer. He said you can either pay up front, and this is the amount that you'll pay, or you'll pay this amount, but it'll be based on each person that comes in because he doesn't know how many people he'll get in from day to day when he's training. And my partner had a problem with it, but I told him, I said, you got to understand, that's the way he's doing. He's saying, of course, you can take this amount because either way, it's going, the numbers will work out. It's going to be in somebody's favor, but you don't know, like with the fight, who has any idea how much it's actually going to sell when you got streaming and everything involved with it. So it should be more money on the back end. So I guess that's where I'm kind of confused. I'm like,
West, no, you're completely correct. And everything you're talking about, it all makes sense if you're talking about everyone being up under the same umbrella. So you got to understand, Terence Crawford is coming from, I'm a free agent. I don't want to sign a deal with you, Al Heyman. And that's why Al Heyman wants to sign a deal with him. So all the numbers can be a lot more, compact. All right, this is the percentage I'm going to make off of you. Terence Crawford's like, nah. How many times, like I've said before, have you seen Al Heyman bend the knee and say, let's do a co-promotional deal? The only time we can think of is Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. There's a reason. So all I'm saying is,
but wouldn't he accept? Wouldn't it's gonna be more? I mean, it's like you're not gonna just give up potentially because I feel like that Bud could win this fight. I'm one of the people who feel like to me. I feel like both of them could win this fight. So wouldn't it make sense? I mean, he is a promoter. It's like Bob Arum with Devin Haney. He didn't come over there and say you only gonna be able to get this one fight and go and run back to the zone. It doesn't work like that. It is business. I think that's what we have to understand is that we literally have to put ourselves in everybody's shoes that's in this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get why I'm not a huge Bob Arum fan, but I understand why Bob Arum saying, like, no, you coming over here. Like, these are my belt. Like, you're gonna fight for 3 fights over here.
Go ahead, Dub. I know you want to say something, so you can go ahead.
No, I mean, he's I can't disagree. But at the same time, what I will say is that at the end of the day, when we look at this fight right here, when we talk about Bud versus EJ.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna step away, fellas. I'll be right back.
Do your thing, brother. When we look at this fight right here, I understand and I agree with what he said about Devin Haney signing the multi-fight deal over with Top Rank to make or to become undisputed. He was getting paid a reasonable bag, but when we really look at it, Kambosos got paid $10 million for that fight, right? He's gonna get damn near $10 million again for that fight. And so, Devin, what Devin did is different. What Devin did is different than anybody else in the sport of boxing. You've never seen anyone take that type of contract and do what Devin did. The difference is, in my opinion, is that Devin is 23 years old and Bud is 35 years old. Because of that, man, Bud right now, Bud should
Errol
be.
Spence is 33 going on 34 years old. I'm like,
Earl is 31. Earl is 31. But at the same time, the thing is Bud should be looking for his biggest payday in this fight. And that's why I said from the beginning. I think, Goose, you heard me say it at first, but I don't understand why there wouldn't be guaranteed money. I don't understand that piece of it. And I don't understand, well, I do understand the
we was both close. We was both close. He 32. We was close.
Okay, 32. Excuse me, 32.
I had 33, you had 31, 32.
He right. And I'm with you. I understand where we're coming from, but all I'm saying is I think that for Devin to take the deal that he took, he can take that deal because he's been making money. He's already a multimillionaire, and he's looking for a legacy, right? The thing with Bud has like if he doesn't, if
Earl is 35, by the way.
You said Earl is 30. Earl ain't 35.
I'm sorry, y'all. Terence Crawford is 35. My bad.
There we go. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, I thought Terence was at 33, 34. He is 35. Okay.
Yeah. Terence is 30, and Earl is what, 32, right?
Yeah, 32 and 35. But we will say the one thing. Okay, we will say what I say is, Earl did go through a lot. He went through a lot more damage, a lot more injuries, a lot more suffering than Terence Crawford had. So Terence Crawford is a young 35. He ain't never even been put through a war. Terence Crawford's never had a war in any of his fights.
Not worried about any of that. Not even that.
He's never been injured.
I don't.
Think about that, Dub. He's never been injured.
I honestly
had significant injuries, nothing to do with boxing, but we got to be realistic.
I'm not giving individuals passes for if EJ get thrown out of a car because of shit he doing, he get an eye injury. I ain't giving nobody no pass. I don't give a fuck how old you are or what you've been through as far as the fight goes. In my opinion, and this is just me, I'm not giving nobody no pass. If you're gonna fucking fight, then fight. I want to see the fight. That's what I want to see. I want to see the fight. And so I say that to say that ain't no way that Bud should not have guaranteed money. And even if it's not a high guarantee, go ahead, Goose.
You're completely right. But doesn't that kind of like doesn't that agree with my statement in the fact that Terence Crawford, like, okay, Al Heyman said, "Hey, I'm a lowball you." Like, say you trying to sell me a stereo system, right? And you already looked at the value of the stereo system. I'm like, this thing's worth at least $120. You like, hey, what you want for this? And I'm like, look, I'm in a tight spot right now, Dub. I got a lot of shit going on. Like, I'm trying to figure shit out. But at the end of the day, I love music. I love listening to music. And you got exactly what I need for me to listen to music and for the music to be absolutely good every time I'm listening to it so I can get through whatever I'm getting through. I'll offer you $27.50. But you know that thing worth $150. You know, at the very least, you can go to the pawn shop right now and you can get $75 for that. But I'm like, yeah, I can give you $27.50, and it will help me with my whole entire life. I see this in the same. I think he threw a low ball at Terence Crawford. I assumed you wasn't gonna take it, but Dub, you like, yeah, I'll take the $27.50. And I'm not saying it's the same scenario, but I'm just giving y'all an example. In my mind, I don't even have the $27.50. I lowballed you, not thinking you was gonna take that. And I'm like, oh shit, he took that. Now I gotta figure some shit out. Oh, well, hold on. I know you said you was gonna take the $27.50, but let's talk about it. Because I don't even have the money. So I'm like, when I look at this situation, I think Terence Crawford, he like the first low bid that was presented to him, he took it. And a lot of people didn't realize how much Terence Crawford wanted that fight. And a lot of people are not going to talk about the fact that he did take that fight with a 65-35 split, which is ridiculous.
I don't believe Bud took that, bro.
He took it. It was reported.
Maybe he did. Okay. All right. We're gonna go off the assumption that he took 35, 65.
It was reported. It was reported. It was a done deal. They said that it was good to go at that price range at that split.
Why the fight ain't signed then? Why the fight ain't signed?
Because I got, you know what I'm saying, I'm fluent just a little bit, but I gotta pull it back up. The reason why, but it had nothing to do with the split. It had nothing to do at all with the split.
What I believe you're gonna come across, and what you would say is that it has everything to do with a rematch clause.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, I just pulled it up. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford is in jeopardy. The November 19th undisputed welterweight clash between undefeated champion Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is currently in jeopardy. 147 Crawford wants transparency to the experience. So it all has to do with the fact that the original contract that they gave him for Terence Crawford, they guaranteed him a purse, they guaranteed him pay-per-view points. All of a sudden now, once Terence Crawford agreed to that, when they revised the actual contract, now it's saying, hey, we're not going to guarantee you a purse. And so that's a discrepancy. And now they're saying all of a sudden the fight may not happen because
hold on, say that again. Say that one more time, real quick.
He's not guaranteed a purse. Originally, it was looked as if he was going to be guaranteed a purse. Now it seems as if he's not going to be. He's trying to get clarification on being guaranteed a purse, and now that's the reason why the fight is in jeopardy. Also, remember, obviously PBC. Anyone who's Errol Spence fans, anyone who's Al Heyman fans, they can easily say, "Well, look, it's not that they don't want to clear everything up. It's the fact that they have a deadline. So there is a deadline for all this to be cleared up for the fight to actually happen. And if they don't make it happen by the deadline, the fight won't happen."
Now, Goose. Now this is the problem. Me and you, we done sat up here and we done talk for a minute, and like I told you, I do not believe that Bud Crawford agreed to not having any type of guaranteed money up front. I've said this.
Absolutely not. That's fraud.
But
that's what I'm saying. But Dub, that's my whole point. I'm like, we can't get to this point, and Terence is saying that there's something that's honorable going on. Like, how are we even reporting this fight to actually even being a possibility of happening? And Terence is all of a sudden saying, well, hold up, can you just guarantee me that you got me, like you promised me like shit, 200,000 and I'm gonna get it? And all of a sudden the fight's in jeopardy again. Like, that seems shady, man. Think about if you went to your employer and was like, yo, you told me I was supposed to get, you know what I'm saying? Let's say a simple number. I was supposed to get $50 for this. And now all of a sudden you just ducking and dodging me for the $50. You don't think you feel away?
But this is the problem with what I said from the beginning. People are reporting what they say is 65-35, right? I've heard that there's no guaranteed money. The thing I told you, Goose, tell me if I'm lying. I said it makes no sense for Bud not to have any type of guaranteed money. That makes no sense whatsoever, in my opinion. Maybe yeah, on the back end, maybe getting 35% of the back end, and EJ getting 65%. And then I brought up the situation with Ugas, saying that Ugas got a guarantee up front. Ain't no way Bud is going to sign a deal and tell me that he ain't getting no guaranteed money, but he getting 35 on the back end. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that shit. And so I say that to say this. It goes back to Al Heyman. I got smoked for Al Heyman. The reason I got smoked for him is because Bud has made the move to the PBC, trying to make the fight. And if anything Al Heyman is doing, I don't care what he's doing. I could care less. I don't care what the splits are. I don't care what the money is. Al make the fucking fight. And if Al Heyman ain't making the fight, bro, I got smoked
the
for
fight, bro. He want to be Dana
got
White so bad. I'm telling you, man. I'm like that like. I'm like, we're not even gonna be able to get into the other topics. I'm not even tripping on it, but I'm like, when it comes to this particular fight, like,
Wes, let me ask you a question, bro.
Yeah.
If this fight don't get made, right, and like I always say, if the fight don't get made, I got smoke for Bud, I got smoke for EJ, Al Heyman, Steven Espinosa, Bomac, Derek James, Mandalay Bay,
Big Mac.
the Uber drivers in Vegas, bro. I got smoke for all of them, bro. And go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This fight was never supposed to happen this year. I know it sounds crazy, but every time I report on this fight, I've been told you how skeptical I was about this. I'm like, this fight was never supposed to happen this year. It's gonna happen next year. We're gonna see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence.
Why do you say that? Before you go on, why do you say it was never supposed to happen this year?
Because it doesn't make any sense. If this fight was supposed to happen this year, then we were gonna have Gervonta Davis with Ryan Garcia happen this year. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you all of a sudden have one of the biggest fights that we've been waiting for the longest time when it comes to hardcore boxing community happen at November? Does that make sense? When we have a whole year coming up of uncertainty of next year, and then we can have that fight happen. I'm telling you, we've had too many good fights happen this year for us to all of a sudden try to squeeze in Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua and Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. That doesn't make any sense. We'll be wasting a good fight.
How are we squeezing?
How we missed because of the pandemic, though. I mean, they still we had these fights because of catch up. Now we missed, and they missed out on some stuff. I mean, they missed out on some live gates and stuff too. Now
that's my whole point, though. So you have to make sure it's the exact right point for us to bring it back, and it's like we have to capitalize this up the most. If we do this on November 12th, it's gonna be November 19th. Oh yeah, all right. This is gonna do good numbers. But guess what? If all of a sudden we have this speculated for it happening November 19th, all of a sudden it doesn't happen November 19th, and all of a sudden it happens in 2023, think of how much bigger numbers we got.
What if we slip into it? What if we actually go into a recession as well in 2023?
There's gonna be a recession, but motherfuckers are still gonna want entertainment. I'm telling you, that don't change.
We are already in a recession. Respect.
Yeah, and that too, Dub. I'm like, we already in a recession. So I'm like, entertainment don't change. Motherfuckers still want to be able to be distracted from whatever's going on in their daily life. And I'm like, the longer you make them wait, the longer you're going to want it. And I actually agree with you, R. West, because one of the main points that I've been actually disputing when it comes to this fight is like, are we going to have another Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather moment? When Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fought, and he was like, all right, I'm excited for it. But when it actually happened, it was like, it's too little too late. Is that going to be the same scenario when it comes to Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford? I don't think so. But if it goes past next year, there's a big possibility. So it's like, I do understand where you are coming from, R. West. I do understand where you're coming from, the right side, but I do realize that like the most money to be made is not this year, because you got to understand the heavyweight division was revitalized. Everyone thought the heavyweight division was dead. They thought it died. Now it's back. 135 division thought they were on top. No, you not on top, nigga. You're not on top.
And the
Especially
heavyweight
after Joseph Parker. You ain't on top no more, nigga.
man, that
You think they over? You put them? You put them over 135?
Hell yeah. I'll watch the heavyweight division fight any day.
All right, okay.
Any day.
In general, we talking about numbers though. You think that the heavyweights in general, and I understand the glamour division, but I'm talking about like right now in the state of boxing. You think that they do bigger numbers than 135?
I don't even think it's questioned. I'm like
147,
135 don't even got a pay-per-view that
147,
even
47.
Yeah, I'm like 147 has it bad, but I'm like 147 or 135. They don't have a pay-per-view that even comes close to the heavyweight division right now. We're talking about the biggest fight right now, known to man, known to boxing, is Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 4. Nothing's outselling that.
Oh, nobody watching that.
That shit ain't happening, bro.
Ain't nobody, man. That's like them low
That's
Canelo
crazy.
Triple G numbers.
What? Canelo versus Triple G didn't even touch what Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder did.
I was talking about how they was talking about how 3 was going to be so well. Nobody wanted to see that. Nobody asked for that.
I knew 3. No one
4.
asked for 3. No one's asking for 4 versus Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder.
That's
you know why but you know why Deontay Wilder's smart? Because he knows that. And he's putting himself in a position where y'all gonna be asking for that fight.
No, he put himself in a position so some of them channels who they can say that Tyson Fury ran from me.
R West. If Wilder beats Helenius, most likely he's gonna fight Andy Ruiz next. Andy Ruiz beat Joshua.
Not true.
Andy Ruiz is he can have the third fight with Joshua with the position he's in.
Bruh, if Deontay Wilder beats Helenius, bruh, we already seen Usyk say that he gonna be at that fight. If Usyk don't fight Fury, then Usyk's gonna fight goddamn Deontay Wilder next, bruh. That's gonna be the fight made.
That's a possibility, but that doesn't mean he's gonna have the fight happen.
Usyk's
in a power dub. Usyk's in a power position. He doesn't have to fight anyone he doesn't want to. He can sit back and be like, "What y'all finna do?"
So why would he say that he going to the fight and he want to be there ringside, especially after Tyson Fury said that he trying to make the fight with Anthony Joshua. When
I agree with you.
Go ahead. When Tyson Fury said that, that's when Usyk came out. Even though Usyk, after he beat AJ ass, what did he say? He said that he don't want to fight nobody but Fury. After Fury came out and said that he's looking to make the fight with AJ, then that's when Usyk came out and was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to the Deontay Wilder fight then. Because
I agree with all that.
Go ahead.
No, I agree with all that. You're exactly right. I can't argue any of that. But what we were just talking about. All this shit is entertainment. All this is promotional shit. Usyk, I'm saying, like, he came from a war from his country to fight Fury. To fight Anthony Joshua for that.
What they got to do with anything, man? Y'all got to stop giving these niggas war credits and shit, man.
I'm not saying he's fighting in the war. What I'm saying, in his particular situation, for him to do that, so he's not in a rush to put himself in a position.
War, bro.
But no, listen to this, Dub. He's not in a rush to put himself in a position where I gotta fight Wilder right after this fight. You don't think he's willing to sit back and act like he has a great face-to-face after, if it does happen, Wilder, knocks out Helenius or he beats Helenius, have a face-to-face, shit get hyped. We're still talking about Usyk, great promotional shit. And then Wilder goes and fights Andy Ruiz next. I'm like, this is part of the game. I'm like, let's not act like this is some new shit. I'm like, I can see that happening, period. Just because Usyk is there, he's going to be watching the fight. The same way everyone was speculating Fury versus Anthony Joshua would happen. Probably not going to happen. Fury talking about he wants to fight Char now. He wants to fight Manuel Char. He changed his name, respectfully. So I'm saying his name wrong. So I'm sorry. He's changed. I think he became Muslim now or something. So salute to him, Char. But now he's talking about he wants to fight Char. I thought he was going to fight Derek Chisora. So I'm like, all this shit, it changes. This is part of the game. It's promotional shit.
Fluke, so you really thought, because I'll be honest with you, I don't believe nothing that Tyson Fury say. I thought it was
Neither do I. That nigga says everything in the way, nigga.
But I look at it like, if Usyk, and to me, it's more to gain for both of them if Usyk and Wilder fight than an Andy Ruiz fight, because I literally believe that Deontay Wilder want to be a champion again, and Usyk, I'm pretty sure he thinks I can outbox this dude. If I do not get caught with none of these, I can outbox him. So I feel like that both of them feel like they can win that fight, and it's more in it for them.
Let me paint a picture for y'all. West Dub, I'm gonna paint a picture for y'all because y'all looking a little bit too simplistic. And listen to my personal opinion. Who just won? Joe Joyce just took a W, right? Joe Joyce just fought who? He said fought Anthony Joshua. He's also fought
Joseph Parker, bro. He fought
Usyk. Right? Let me just finish. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Now we got Deontay Wilder coming back. He's fighting Robert Helenius. Andy Ruiz just won his fight. Andy Ruiz beat who? Excuse me. Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua for his first fight. Anthony Joshua beat him for his second fight. Joseph Parker beat Andy Ruiz. Right? And then we got Tyson Fury sitting there. So I'm like, we have a very interesting, perspective when it comes to these different matchups that have happened, where it's like, all right, I know you guys are trying to make it as simplistic as possible, but it's not that simplistic. There's a lot of fights right now. Like everything is open right now. And I also think that's why I don't think we're going to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Because I think if Anthony Joshua loses to Tyson Fury, there's a lot of steam that's going to be lost from that. And I was like, there's just too much steam being built right now. Even if you lose as a heavyweight, it's not a big deal. Like Luis Ortiz has a lot of steam still. That's my personal opinion, but go ahead. Yeah, how y'all feel about that?
Go ahead, Right Side.
I just don't understand how we want to sit here and say that a fight between any of these guys would be bigger, especially, and Goose, I got a lot of love for you, Flu. I do. Ain't no way we should be bringing Joseph Parker into
Go crazy with
Joe Joyce. Ain't no way we should be bringing Joe Joyce into this shit, bro. Joe Joyce, he had. I mean, hey.
Wait, hold up. No, that's disrespect.
Wait a minute,
I don't interrupt nobody, but for you to disrespect Joe Joyce like that, come on, man. Who's better than Joe Joyce in the heavyweight division right now?
I'm not disrespecting Joe Joyce. I'm not.
Who's better than Joe Joyce in the heavyweight division right now?
I'll give you the names. If you don't mind, I will give you the names. Who's better?
You ain't gonna name more than 5.
Nigga, I don't gotta name more than I only need to name 4. And the reason I only need to name 4 is because those 4 are the individuals I'm looking to mix up, or I'm looking for them to mix it up at the heavyweight division. I'm not. Hey man, Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, bro. He a hell of a fighter, bro. And me and you, we had this conversation previously. I rock with Joe Joyce, bro. I think he a hell of a fighter. But at this current moment,
this nigga, you just who beats him?
Please name him, Dub, because
Deontay Wilder beat the shit. Deontay Wilder stops him. Usyk outboxes his ass. Tyson Fury stops him, and Anthony Joshua beats his ass, bro.
And Jared Anderson
Joshua beats
Big Baby
Hold on.
You really think that's one of the most cap statements I've ever said.
Hold on. You gonna be Goose. Hold on. You gonna be mad at me. You're gonna be mad at me when I say this. Jared Big Baby Anderson will beat the dog shit out of his ass, bro.
Big Baby is one of my favorite fighters. I don't care. Any nigga who's an OG of the channel, y'all can tell him right now. Big Baby's one of my favorite fighters. But that nigga ain't never gonna come back. Wait. Big Baby ain't never gonna be the same nigga he was 2 years ago. Big Baby is done. That nigga's never gonna be the same nigga he was 2 years ago. So the disrespect like that is crazy.
We talking about Jared Anderson.
Not Big Baby Miller.
I thought you was talking about Jared Miller. My bad. I'm like Jared Miller, my nigga.
Jared Big Baby Anderson fat as hell, bro. He too fat, bro. He too fat.
But okay, he's talking about Anderson. I thought you were talking about Miller.
Yeah, no. Big Baby Anderson. He will beat the dog shit. He will beat the
right now. He would get the dog shit beat out of him. That nigga dog walk.
Bro, you crazy as hell, bro. You crazy as hell.
Y'all was the same nigga. Let me be 100, and I know y'all gonna lie. I'm gonna hear you in the fluctuation of your voice. Did y'all think Joe Joyce was gonna beat Joseph Parker? I knew Dub was.
Bro, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. You just said we're gonna lie about this.
Silence said it all, nigga.
Hold on, bro. You just said
man. I'm not capping. I'm like, that's disrespectful.
You just told me I'm gonna lie about this shit. Bro, you just told me I'm gonna lie about this shit, bro. You said that y'all gonna lie about this. That's what you just told me, right?
I ain't nah.
You just told me.
I ain't, nigga. I said I ain't gonna lie about this shit. All right, nigga. I said I'm confirming it, nigga.
You breaking up, right side?
Bro, he will dog walk his ass.
Saying, so he might be mad because he think I'm saying some shit I'm not saying.
Oh, my bad.
No, you good, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you
we
now.
good. Yeah.
Man, Big Baby Anderson will beat the dog shit out of Joe Joyce, bro. He will beat the shit out of his ass.
I see.
Joe
That's
Joyce
the thing. Like,
Go ahead.
If I was 24, 23 years old and you was my manager, I would end up like Daniel Dubois, because that's what Frank Warren did to Daniel Dubois. He put him in there with Joe Joyce, thinking that this young nigga. Look, Jared Anderson is much more skillful than Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is 6'7", and this nigga is a tank. I'm not putting none of my young niggas in there with him. I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, as a marketing business, like, nah. Like, Jared Anderson, if his next fight, if Joe Joyce's next fight was against Jared Anderson, you telling me Jared Anderson would beat him? Is that what you telling me?
Yes.
You got damn right he would.
Yes.
Oh, y'all crazy.
And I'm not
man.
comparing him to Daniel Dubois.
I
think Jared Anderson, he got more dog in him. He got more street in it. I don't see.
Than Joe Joyce? So you
then,
telling me Jared Anderson got a better resume than Joe Joyce?
No. I say he better than that. To me, he got more dog than Daniel Dubois.
Nah, that's crazy.
I feel like I don't see him quitting. And
Daniel Dubois didn't quit. The ref stopped it. He took a knee, but the ref stopped it.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
The ref stopped it. Like, come on, man. He had a broken order. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm like, Daniel Dubois was only 24. I know Jared Anderson is 23 going on 24, but Jared Anderson ain't even been in that type of competition. He would never even take that type of fight. That's what bugged me about it. Like, he fought Joe Joyce. Like, Joe Joyce is 37. Like, he fought him at 35. Daniel Dubois was 24 years old. Like, y'all disrespect Daniel Dubois. It's crazy, man. Like, I know we U.S. fans. We love U.S. boxing. Stop disrespecting the UK side of the game, man. That's the thing. Like, see, no. I just want to be 100 with y'all. I'm like, look, y'all be on the other channels. Y'all be on the other boxing channels. That's cool. Y'all be on the U.S. side of the game. I fuck with everything.
But AJ was my favorite heavyweight,
disrespectful to Daniel Dubois is crazy to me.
So I see what you're saying, but AJ was my favorite though. I had AJ over all of them. Not as much as
I know, but R West, AJ is he's a known factor. I'm like, niggas, the niggas don't know who Daniel Dubois. Like the same way you going crazy for Jared Anderson, Daniel Dubois beats Jared Anderson. That's my personal opinion.
Man, Jared Anderson beat the dog shit out of Daniel Dubois, bro. He'll beat the dog shit out of Daniel Dubois.
All right, I'm gonna be 100 with you. Jared Anderson's the better boxer, but you gotta respect.
See, that's the problem, Goose. That's the problem. So then when I say it, you be like, oh, I gotta be real. You right.
No, I'm just trying to get the respect toward box. That's it. I'm like, don't disrespect Daniel Dubois. I'm like, Daniel Dubois is he's a great fighter, man.
I'm not disrespecting nobody. I'm just as a boxing mind, bro. I
know Big Baby a beast. And by the way, Big Baby, Jared Anderson, you better give respect to Big Baby Miller. You don't got to, nigga. You probably put work on me. We can get in the ring.
No, I like Big Baby, bro. I like Big Baby Miller outside the drugs and shit.
Respect Big Baby Jared Miller. I'm like, Jared Miller's still fine. Respect my guy. You feel me?
With every goddamn drug you can, man. Come on now.
We gotta respect that. I can't respect that.
He ain't the only nigga taking drugs in the sport, man. Fuck
he had all of them.
Y'all be talking about a nigga that get caught in drugs. Like, don't act like. I'm like, Tyson Fury he been popped with, you know what I'm saying, some shit way back when. Like, come on,
and I'm gonna crucify Tyson Fury the same way, man. Bro. Like, what? So I got a question. Let me ask a question, bro. Let me ask a
Big Baby Miller like that. That's so cap, man. I'm like, nigga, drugs is part of the sport, man.
So if a nigga get popped dirty, bro, I can't be crucial of that shit. So when Canelo
you can't. I'm just saying you can't be capping on that shit. You can't act like every other nigga ain't doing the same shit.
Bro, if you don't
just got more money.
What you doing, bro? If you don't get caught, if you get caught, I can say what you doing. It is what it is.
Some niggas got body types where it's not that easy.
Man, come on, Goose. Come on, bro.
I talk for a living, nigga. That's how I'm in. Hey, nah. Every
You
nigga
might-
don't got bodies. Look, hey, if I got look, I could argue like nigga, I ain't taking shit, I'm good. And I could be taking everything under the mood. There's niggas, look, think about it. There's niggas 300 plus. 300 plus. They taking the most minimalized shit and getting caught for getting like they really that shit. Like Big Baby Miller, like, come on, he was 6'4", he was weighing 300 plus.
If I come on your channel, bro, capping for Canelo, a drug cheat. If I'm capping for him and you bring up him cheating using drugs, should I just say, oh no, everybody get caught? Everybody use him. He just got caught. Should I say that? Just think about what you're saying, bro.
Hey, if I was you, Dub, I would say that. I would still say something back to combat that, but I would say that because it's true. Because it's like, nigga, everybody get caught. Everybody got some shit. Nobody. Hey, look, Dub. Can I say this, Dub? Let me say this, Dub. Everybody want to talk shit about Boo Boo Andrade, but nobody want to talk about the fact that when he
breaking up, bro.
Dub. Let me say this. I was like, it's like. Everybody want to talk shit about Boo Boo Andrade, but when Boo Boo Andrade was really about to, you know what I'm saying, put his career in a whole different dimension, Billy Joe Saunders got popped for some shit. But just because that nigga was in the States, just because he wasn't in the States, y'all niggas didn't give a fuck. That's why he's in the position he's in now, and y'all be talking shit.
Oh, man, stop capping, bro. Niggas don't like to bring up Ray Jones. They don't like because I'm sitting here telling you, Ray Jones, goddamn, what's my boy name? Oh man, I can't even think of his name. James Toney. All these niggas got caught using shit, and when they got caught, nigga, I was on their head about it, bro. And so now
that's
when
not
a nigga,
not what I'm saying. But Dub,
bro,
that's
if
not
you
what I'm saying. I agree with that.
bro, I'm gonna be on your neck about that shit, bro.
Dub, I'm not disputing accountability. I know accountability is always coming into play.
Goose. Come on.
When a nigga is exposed, niggas be quick to jump on that. I'm not disputing accountability. What I'm talking about is how much you're going to make it a factor on what we're discussing. Because a lot of times the only reason why people are bringing it up is because, someone said something about it and now we have to acknowledge it. But in reality, when we talk about a lot of these fighters, and a lot of times their career is based off of, there's this controversy. We put them in this box. And I'm like, we've been talking to a lot of fighters that have been put in a box where it's like, we shouldn't be putting we shouldn't be putting them in that box. And at the end of the day, it's there just because of accountability.
But niggas you like.
Yeah, nah, you right.
You capping for niggas.
I'm not gonna dispute that. Yeah, I'm always gonna show support for the niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because I think niggas have been dealt the wrong hand. You feel me?
Now, I have no problem with you capping for niggas, right? But just keep it.
I'm not capping. No,
don't
for them niggas. Capping, nigga. That's respect, nigga.
You just said you was. Respectfully.
That's respect, nigga. Not capping. That's respect. West, you got something to say?
Bro, you just told me you just
I ain't gonna
capping for them niggas, bro.
Y'all trying to press me, and I'm like, nigga, that's some false shit. That's false, nigga. That's respect, nigga.
Man, that's respect. So not saying that he got caught cheating, using drugs, PEDs. That's respect. No, nigga, that's cap.
No. It depends on what we're talking about. What era? Like,
depending on what we talking about. Not depending on what we talking about.
I understand where you come from, Dub, and I respect everything you're saying. But from my perspective and everything I'm saying, I'm like, look, you have to judge every era for what the era it is. Because at the end of the day, whoever we're talking about being, let me say this. Whoever we're talking about being the best or being at the top, they're dealing with the same situation that everybody else is. So I'm like, if they're taking something, they're doing something, most likely everybody else is. I'm not saying that's the actual fact.
Did they get caught?
That's what it is.
They get caught.
And if they've been caught, we talking about it. And that's the case. So I'm like, I'm not going outside the formula. It's not like I'm talking about anybody who's not in the top 5 who ain't been caught. You know what I'm saying? It's been the same situation.
Bro. How we going? How can I keep the same?
Wait, no. I know you got shit, but look, R-West, he got some shit. Let's get it off. It's a minute. We ain't let R-West say nothing.
Go ahead. No, I had to step away for a quick second, so I didn't even hear what y'all was just talking about just now.
Oh goddamn! This
my
nigga
drug
came in with the
cheat. Y'all
off.
talking about the drug cheat?
He couldn't say it.
We both muted our shit. We was like, "Damn, nigga, go ahead, nigga, we good." No, you good. Me and Dub, man,
Man,
we
y'all-
stay going. Look, go ahead, Dub.
Man, all I'm saying is, bro, regardless of the era that it's in, if a nigga get caught cheating, bro, I gotta say he a cheat. I gotta say that. And hey, Big Baby Miller, bro, I ain't got no problem with him. Matter of fact, even his latest fights, bro, I've been watching them. You know what I'm saying? Even though they've been in weird
I'm not
ass.
supporting this nigga because he does not look good in his latest fights. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is we cannot act as if
Watch him. I'm just saying, I support him, bro.
Certain characteristics, money. It doesn't play in the. Like, come on, man. I'm not trying to be someone like okay, Big Baby Miller deserves a pass because he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He failed way too many drug tests. I hate that I'm even talking about him. The only reason I'm talking about him because I thought that's who y'all was talking about. Y'all was talking about Jared Anderson. I should have known that. But even with that being the case, for y'all to think that Big Baby Jared Anderson, he's one of the people that could beat Joe Joyce. Can I say this? Do y'all think he can beat Joe Joyce? Y'all crazy.
Yes.
You crazy. R West, I bet you if I would have asked you if Joe Joyce would have lost to Dillian White, you probably choose Dillian White over Joe Joyce. You probably win him.
Hell no. Joe Joyce will beat the dog. Oh, you said my bad. You said R West. My bad, bro. Go ahead, R West. I apologize.
Let me ask, who does Joe Joyce lose to then? Vote from Dub Right Side and R West. Who could beat Joe Joyce? All right, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. But that's what I want to know. Answer that.
Usyk, Fury, Wilder, Joshua, and Jared Big Baby Anderson. I got all them over Joe Joyce. And I mean, there ain't no problem with Joe Joyce. I feel like, all right, then he number 6. He probably the 6th best heavyweight out there.
Bro, this the problem. The nigga just asked me the same question, and I answered the question, and then he want to ask the shit again, bro. No, man, fuck. Look, man, y'all got to stop this. Hey, I understand being a fan of fighters. I understand it, bro. I ain't mad at it. And Goose, I'm gonna wait for your ass to come back. The nigga done stepped away for a second, and I ain't mad at him. Maybe he got a piece, whatever. But goddamn, stop capping for these niggas, bro. Like, exactly. You gotta stop that shit, bro.
I call people on the carpet when they fuck up. You gotta call them on the carpet. Evander Holyfield. My favorite boxer of all time is Roy Jones Jr. I ain't gonna act like Roy ain't get busted. He got popped.
He got caught, bro. He got caught.
I'm not gonna act like he didn't get popped. I'm be honest with you. That's what it is. It's my favorite fighter.
Like, man, y'all, man. Look, bro. And I will say, always, you know me, bro. Maybe I'm one of the individuals. You know, I defend Devin Haney. God damn it, life, death, and I defend Dev, bro. You know how I am with Dev. But at the same time, bro, at some point in time, I gotta keep it a buck, bro. Like, just keep that shit a buck, that's man.
Though. Do I feel like you would defend Dev? Of course, but I don't see you capping for him.
And that's the bro. Even and this is the craziest thing. My nigga, YB, Young Billy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Young Billy, man, that's my little brother, bro. I fuck with him. The same way, man. I talk to that nigga outside. Same way I talk to you, all West. I talk to that nigga outside of YouTube. You feel me? I don't talk to a lot of niggas outside of YouTube. And me and him, we was talking, bro, and he was like, man, well, he brought up certain things that were going on with Dev, and I'm like, man, I don't like that shit, bro. And I'm telling this nigga, and he know I ride with Dev, and I'm like, bro, I don't really like that shit. And at the end of the day, bro, even though I love Devin is my favorite fighter, but at the same time, bro, I'm not finna cap for these niggas, bro. Like, if Dev, if he after he fights Kambosos, and the nigga he just actually made it to Australia. Shout out to Devin Haney, man. Salute to the brother. He made it to Australia yesterday. If Dev come out and start with some bullshit, bro, I'm gonna be the first nigga on his head, bro. I'm gonna be on his head because the reason I respect Dev is because the nigga want the smoke. And so, man, just because I like fighters, bro, don't mean I can cap for them. I'm not for the cap for none of these dudes because at the end of the day, bro, I want to see the best fight the best. And even when they were talking about Shakur fighting Devin, right? If after Lomachenko, not Lomachenko, excuse me, after Kambosos, if Lomachenko loses, because people, and I want to ask y'all about this. I think that Jermaine Ortiz can fight. And so I think that's going to be a much more difficult fight for Lomachenko than a lot of people think it's going to be. But I still think Lomachenko wins that fight.
Talk about it, Dub. Talk about it. A lot of y'all want to hate on Loma. That's a great fight. I had a lot of niggas in my comments telling me like, oh, that's his sparring partner. That's going to be an easy fight. I'm like, man, Ortiz ain't no joke, nigga.
Well, then if y'all talking about me, then let me know. If y'all talking about me, then let me know. Because I'm sorry. They giving
So you saying Ortiz is an easy fight for Loma? Is that what you saying?
They know who the hell Loma come, as you say, Loma coming back from quote unquote combat. They not put him in there with no tough. Nah, Loma getting him a little. It's a decent. It's not a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. But that's all that matters. With somebody. They know he's gonna beat him.
I'm gonna keep it.
They know Loma gonna beat him.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Always. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. You know I ain't capping. Man, Jermaine Ortiz can fight, bro. He can fight.
Yeah, man.
You feel me? He's a really good fighter. A really good fighter.
And so both of y'all are telling me that Top Rank is putting for Loma's first fight back. They put him in there with somebody that he could realistically lose to.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
what I'm saying.
Real quick, Dub, let me say real quick. I'm like, what I'm saying real quick is, I'm not saying that's realistic he can lose to, but I think it's a very good fight. And I think Ortiz, he's a young,
I agree with you.
He's a young man, undefeated, and I think he's gonna, if he wants to upset someone, it's a possibility. So that's it.
I believe he's 16-1, bro. Oh, go ahead, Arwis. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just saying. I feel like it's a good. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's a good fight, and it's going to help Loma to be able to look good because it's a good. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be an easy fight. But I feel like Loma's going to. They know he's going to pull it out. But you can go ahead, right side.
I'm not saying that he's going to lose the fight. What I am saying is that, bro, this ain't no people. They think this ain't no motherfucking cakewalk, bro. Jermaine Ortiz can fight. I watched him fight. I watched his last 3 fights. I believe what his last fight was against what's buddy name that Shakur fought.
Surprise some people. How?
Hold on, what's buddy name that Shakur fought, bro?
No, that was you talking about who he just fought?
Jamel Herring. He fought Jamel Herring his last fight.
Yeah, and he stopped Jamel Herring, and a lot of people didn't think he was going to stop him.
And
that's when I
beat the shit out of Jamel Herring, bro.
Thank you, Dub. That's what made me be like, oh, wait, who is this guy? Lomachenko's fight.
He can fight, bro. Jermaine Ortiz can fight. And so I'm not going to say, I think Loma will win the fight, but it's not an easy-ass fight. And it's going to be, it's a tough-ass fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's easy. Loma's got to come in prepared.
Jermaine Ortiz is better than Comey. He's better than Nakatani. You feel me? Like he's better than all them guys,
Talk
bro.
about that, Dub. Younger.
And younger, and he's undefeated now. He does have 1 draw. I think he's 16-1. I believe that's his record, 16-1. But the dude can fight, bro. He can fight, and so I think he wins. I think Loma can win. I think Loma wins that fight. But at the same time, it's not gonna be what a lot of people think this shit is gonna be, bro. Like this ain't no real cake. People they want to look at that shit as a soft touch. It is a soft touch if you compare Ortiz to Devin Haney. It's a soft touch if you compare it that way.
He don't got no losses. He only got a draw. Dub.
Yeah, that's what I say. He's 16. He's 16-0-1. 16. He got 1 draw with 16 wins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, man, Jermaine Ortiz can fight, bro. I like Jermaine Ortiz. I do think Loma can beat him, but at the same time, it's not. He's definitely not stopping Jermaine Ortiz. He's definitely not stopping him, and that shit, bro. That shit gonna be closer than what a lot of people think that shit gonna be. And so, I say that to say this. God damn it! Hey, and once again, I'll be honest with you. I got Loma winning it, but it's gonna be a tough ass fight. It's gonna be a tough ass fight, and if Loma don't win that shit, then that means that I get to see the fight I want to see. Because the fight I want to see is Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, bro. That's the fight I want to see.
And nobody want like I know you want to see that dub, but come on, you only want to see that because you know Haney's gonna beat Shakur Stevenson. Stevenson ain't ready for 135 yet. He's still a little boy.
Man,
Even
wait
though
a
he's older,
minute, Goose.
even though he's older than Haney, he ain't ready for that. Come on, man.
Goose.
He ain't even fight at 135. What
So,
the fuck
so,
you
this,
gonna do at
so this is the
135?
craziest thing. This is the craziest thing.
Tafimo puts
I
work
do.
on Shakur.
I agree with you. I got
Stevenson
Devin.
too light. That boy, he ain't even built for 135 like that.
Bro,
He
you
gotta
crazy.
go
Bro,
up because he
you
need to
crazy.
make money.
You see how thick that nigga? Man, you crazy as hell. Shakur is definitely built for 35. Shakur gonna be fighting at 47, maybe 54 before the end of
No,
his
he's not.
career, bro.
No, he's not.
Fluence Friday, boy.
No,
Oh,
he's finna
man.
not. No, he's finna not. Y'all the same people that's gonna criticize Broner for him not having a luxurious career and saying he ain't worth being in the Hall of Fame when Broner should be a Hall of Famer. Easily.
He going to the Hall of
Argue
Fame.
for Broner to be a Hall of Famer, bro. Broner is definitely a Hall of Famer in my opinion.
Okay, I just had to check your temperature. Okay, I had to see where y'all at.
He a Broner Hall of Famer.
I didn't see what y'all was at because a lot of niggas try to disrespect Broner. By the way, Broner's saying he wants to fight Nate Diaz. I'm not gonna talk about it. I think he's gonna. We're gonna see Broner in the influence side again. He's gonna be taking Egyptian fights just like Floyd. He been wanting to be Floyd for a long time, but that's not a topic. But
so I know I saw when Broner tweeted about Nate Diaz and shit like that.
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to change the subject just yet because I still feel a way about what y'all just said. I feel like it was disrespectful.
Cook on it, and give me a second. Y'all cook real quick.
Go ahead. Now I want R West real quick. R West, you got anything you want to say?
I had a question. You said you still feel a little way about what? Said about what?
If you want me to be real, the last thing I remember saying, I still feel a certain way about, you know what I'm saying, if anybody said anything disrespectful toward Adrian Broner. Everybody's saying, you know what I'm saying, he's not, disciplined.
Now, I'm a huge critic. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm a huge critic of Adrian Broner. I feel like Broner is in the position he in because of Adrian Broner. He placed the blame on a lot of people. His personality, his mentality, the way he acts is very bipolarish. Like the way he acts, like in terms of going off on people and then trying to, oh, I'm sorry, bitch, I need blah blah. Al Heyman paid that you ain't blah blah. Oh, I need a check from Adrian Broner is in when you got Adrian Broner looking to cash out.
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt you, but R West, wasn't we just complaining a little bit about how Al Heyman does business when it comes to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford?
I wasn't complaining about my thing was I wasn't complaining about Al Heyman. That's why I kept asking right side. I'm like, well, how can you get on Al Heyman when we really don't know the facts of it? That's my thing is I'm not placing the blame on nobody because I'm like, to me, it's hard for me to place blame in a Spence Bud situation because I don't know who to place blame on until the facts come out. That's my thing is I don't know who to place the blame. Like I lead always saying I'm a Spence fan. I'm not placing no blame on Bud because I don't know. A lot of channels that I listen to have been placing the blame on him. I can't place the blame on him.
I'm not. But see, I said so. What I'm saying to clarify, I'm not placing the blame on Bud. I'm not placing the blame on fighters. Actually, there's a lot of people that I see actually when it comes to boxing community saying, how can you not place the blame on the fighters? If the fighters want to enforce something, they can make it happen. And it's like, it's out. Like money outweighs talent. Talent does not outweigh money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, whenever I see somebody trying to make a simple argument for anything against that, I'm like, okay, you young. I'm like, at the end of the day, money's always going to outweigh talent because you can make talent out of money, but you can't make talent out of money. Does that make sense? You can make. I actually said the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm going to reverse that.
I was going to ask you to clarify for me.
You can make money out of talent, but you cannot make talent out of money. What I mean by that is you can create and generate a certain type of cash flow from something that a lot of people want to appeal to. And the vice versa, you're going to be trying to convince somebody to appeal to the talent that you have that is amazing, but you won't be creating the same type of cash flow. Does that make sense?
I get where you're going.
So when I'm saying in this particular, when it comes to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, is you have to acknowledge the fact that when it comes to these promoters, Terence Crawford is not under Top Rank. He's not under ESPN. He's not under Bob Arum. He's himself. He's his own entity. When it comes to Errol Spence, he's with Al Heyman. He's with PBC. So when it comes to them negotiating and trying to create a contract or trying to create something that, puts them where they're both benefiting from, it all comes down to, okay, if Errol Spence says yes to something, his team has to say yes to it as well. When Terence Crawford says yes to something, his team doesn't have to say yes to it because it's just Terence. But we also have to think and play, and we also have to keep in mind what's going on in the sense of, the lawsuit when it comes to Barber and Top Rank. I don't know how much that plays in the factor, but let's say that doesn't play a factor. Terence Crawford only has to answer it to himself. Errol Spence has to answer it to his team. So if we did get to a point when it comes to negotiations where, Terence Crawford and his team is ready to go, Errol Spence and his team is like, well, I expect you to, acknowledge that. Now we're at the stint where we're talking about where it's like, all right, This is what you thought, but it's not what it is.
But the offer is going to be coming from PBC. Okay. My thing is that if any offer is made to Terence Crawford, that means that Errol has he would have already had to agree to anything, because they're not gonna not have his side all clear, because they know what he wants. They already know that. That's where it starts. Anything that's sent to Terence Crawford, that means Errol already agreed to. That's how I look at it, though. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard for me to look at, because I'm like, well, you can't be that. Oh, well, he didn't agree to this. He may not agree to if Crawford comes back and says doing a negotiation, he wants something changed. Then you can have that when you go through those negotiations where you have, okay, well, maybe Spence don't agree to that. But anything being sent to Crawford means that Errol has already agreed to.
Facts. And real quick, I want to tell both of y'all this. I'm eating sunflower seeds. I ain't ate sunflower seeds in so motherfucking long. And I'm doing it because y'all got me goddamn about to pull my hair out arguing with y'all niggas, man. Respectfully.
No, look, it's late, demo where I'm at. I wish it was earlier because I started mad late. I'm feeling good. Let me ask y'all this, bro, real quick. Before I end anything, RWest, man, how your Friday been going, man? How you feeling, man? What's good with it, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling blessed. Family doing well.
Absolutely.
They had a little bonfire. My little daughter, she got a doctor's appointment early in the morning, so hoping all goes well with that. Just the annual checkup, man. But I can't complain, man. Life is treat me well. Appreciate you asking.
Absolutely, man. That's what we're here for. Dub, man. How you feeling for the weekend coming up, man? How's everything going, man? Let us know.
Oh man, I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm upset. Cause damn it, if this fight don't happen, like I told y'all, I ain't buying Ant-Man, damn all the pay-per-views and all that shit, bro. I ain't buying another one if this motherfucking fight ain't made. If the fight ain't made before October 15th, not buying the Deontay Wilder shit, bro. Not doing it.
Like, I'm not mad at that.
I'm finding all type of ways to steal shit now. And I done been very critical of niggas stealing shit. And now I'm about to be that dude. Bro. It is what it is.
Look, I gotta be better, man. I gotta be better at the time I'm doing this shit, because I'm like, man, like I feel good, like I want to keep going, but when I be looking at the time, I'm like, damn, where I'm at, I'm like, it's almost 2 a.m. But it's still Friday, so it's not a big deal. It's not just a weekday. I'm like, me and Dub, we done some shit during the week where it was late, nigga. I woke up for work. I was like, nigga, I
thought you was in Cali for some reason.
No, that's my cousin. That's my guy Zen. Zen is in Cali. I'm not in Cali. I'm on Central Time. I'm in Memphis. I'm in Tennessee, bro.
Okay, yeah, we got on Central Time too.
I'm in Georgia.
Yeah, so you are Howard. Like my other cousin, Doug Brightside, he in Georgia too.
That's right.
Like, nigga, you revealing my location. I ain't really revealing his location, but he in Georgia. I was just in Georgia probably a month and a half ago. So
I'm in St. Louis.
So St. Louis, yeah, and I know where, RWest, I know where, we all around the same time frame. Like, it's late.
Anytime y'all come, man, hit me up so we can link up, bro. I don't want to do too much.
Telling you, we gotta be doing. No, but I'm trying to vamp up the channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, like go out to Georgia, because I'm like, I got, you know what I'm saying? I was just out there. RWest, you in the St. Louis side of the game. You in the South side of the game. I get that. The only person I got to get out here is my cousin, because he's in the West Coast. Zen, he's the one in the West Coast. That nigga
Zen is your cousin?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm from the West Coast, nigga.
Okay, I don't know. Okay.
I know. You knew the family, but the OG, like if I had like Lost One in here, or if I had like his snipers in here, he's Trinidad Herrera now. He said, "Yeah, man, I'm from the West Coast, man. I started
But
this
like
channel. I've been doing this for a minute. It's just a lot different now, nigga. Before I was a young nigga trying to figure shit out.
bro, you Goose, I fuck with you. West, and I'll tell you.
Our West, no though. Our West is an OG of the channel.
Yeah, I'm an OG
And
now.
I know our West knew you for a long time, Dub. At least I assume. But our West is an OG of the channel. Our West has been a part of it. Like,
Not man,
OG.
Bro, it's crazy because me and R West goddamn, we be in the way we really met, bro. We was in the OG chat, man. I don't know if you know him, but KQKC. That's really how we kind of met each other, and then we end up in the same chats everywhere. And goddamn, man, we good people when you know good people. It is what it is.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know our West was gonna finna come at me. I like our West, I know, nigga, you go like our West been. I've been seeing that nigga our West for a minute. He been around, so I appreciate you, bro.
For sure, man. Tell us about your Friday, man. Your weekend, man. We want to hear from you too.
Oh, my Friday been good, man. Today, you know what I'm saying? Just had work. Work was good. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Went, you know what I'm saying? Got a little good workout in. Came back to the crib. Did the Fluencefriday. You feel me? Tomorrow is gonna be a rare day because there's really no Fluence Lounge happening tomorrow, man. Because there's really no
tomorrow. Is anybody fighting tomorrow?
That's the thing. Like there is, but it's like tonight I would have did a Fluence Lounge because One FC was going. I could have done that for the MMA side of the game, but you know what I'm saying? The only reason I did it for the last time because Mighty Mouse was fighting. I'm a big fan of Mighty Mouse. I was a young nigga. I'm a big, I'm getting old, but. Like, yeah, there's never really happening this weekend. So I don't think there's going to be no Fluence Lounge tomorrow. So it's going to be the first time no Fluence Lounge. So it's either I'm going to go live tomorrow just for some bullshit or I won't go live tomorrow because, you know what I'm saying, I'm just out and about. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got to see what my day look like tomorrow. Got a few things going on, but damn it, if you go live, if you go live, I might get on here and argue with you some more.
I'm gonna go live no matter what. Like I just don't know what the case may be. Like it's like because I'm like it's crazy. But the week after though, the weekend after it's going crazy, man. We got Caleb Plant. That's the Caleb Plant fight.
Yeah.
We got the UFC joint happening. It's gonna be crazy next weekend.
Who fighting UFC? I don't know none of that shit.
I don't want to say for sure because I'm probably wrong. So I'm gonna wait. I can look it up real quick, but I ain't finna look it up. I'm like, I'm probably wrong, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I'm like, it's gonna be it's gonna be some good shit. But I'm like, next weekend we're gonna be back up with the Fluence Lounge next weekend. But tomorrow we definitely not gonna be there.
Well, before I'm gonna be the first person to jump off tonight. One thing I want to tell you, man.
Everybody, show you. Go ahead, talk your shit, Dub.
Goose, appreciate you, bro. Much love to you. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you live, if you I always love talking this boxing shit. So you biased as hell. Respectfully. But you are.
Absolutely. I don't have no problem saying that. That's the thing. That's like I feel like that's why I throw people off when we have like debates or conversations because I tell them I'm like, yeah, like nigga, I'm biased. Nigga, like
bro, I'm
not trying to act like I'm not leaning toward a certain fight that I'm talking about. Like that's what it is.
But I will say I'm biased as hell too. I'm biased toward Devin Haney. So it is what it is. R West, man, salute to you. You know what it is, bro. Damn, man, just appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Bro, it's 3:00 where I'm at. And guess what the craziest thing is? I'm finna get off with y'all. I'm gonna put my headphones on, and I got about 2 hours of spades that I gotta get in. Cause
get that shit in, nigga. Enjoy your night, nigga.
I'm a spades, Nick, bro. I'm a country dude, so hey, I will tell you, one day I think R West will definitely meet up. Zen, I said Zen, my bad. Goose, Flu, Flu.
Now you good. Salute to Zen for real. Cause I wish that nigga Zen would have popped in, man. That nigga would come in sooner. Like he's gonna be in the Fluence Lounge for real when we do the Fluence Lounge. So for real.
But Flu, man, I got a goddamn. I think we'll rock one day, man. I ain't gonna lie
Nigga,
to
we
you.
in the South. We chilling, man. We good, man. We
You
all
said,
like. I know you a little later. You feel me? Well, I'm in the real South, but you know what I'm saying. You a
bro,
little bit more East Coast.
you're not nearly in the real. I'm in the real South, but
Nigga, I'm in Memphis. Nigga, what the fuck you
nigga,
talking about? Nigga, shit
I'm
popping
in
off every day.
I'm in Middle Georgia. You don't even know the town. You've never heard of the town that I'm in, bro.
All right, no. I give you that. You is in Atlanta. All right, you win.
No, I'm not in Atlanta. I'm definitely not in Atlanta.
But you in Georgia though. You win. Y'all niggas down there. Y'all nigga. I ain't disputing none of that shit. Cause I'm originally from Cali, so I ain't disputing none of it.
I gotta ask you this, bro. I gotta ask you this. You in Memphis, right?
Yo.
This is a true story, and this I'm gonna give my true story, and then I'm jumping off. Swear to God, bro.
Let me some bullshit, nigga. What you gonna say, nigga?
I gotta give my Memphis story. So I've only been to Memphis one time in my life, right?
All right.
And my best friend, he played for Georgia. His people, they're from Memphis. So his mother lives in Memphis now. His aunt lives in Memphis. So I was in high school and we took a trip to, or they was like, we're going to Memphis. You want to ride? I was like, you damn right, I'm gonna ride. So I ride with them to Memphis. I was in the 11th grade.
Yeah.
So we get to Memphis or whatever, and we chilling, bro. Y'all got goddamn, what is it? Church's Chickens on goddamn every corner.
That's funny.
Like I was like, God damn, they got more Church's Chickens.
Yeah, go ahead.
But so his cousin was older than us. His cousin came and picked us up. Was like, man, y'all want to head to the mall? We was like, yeah, we're gonna go to the mall. So we go to this mall, right? It's kind of a indoor, outdoor mall. Well, it was, I don't know.
You remember where it was? You remember what street? I wonder if I remember.
I have no clue what street I was on.
All right.
Pay attention to it. Yeah. But what happened was, this was the craziest thing, bro. A nigga got shot, right?
Oh man,
shot, bro. This is the true story. A nigga got shot, and so I'm like, I'm looking around, bro. I'm in the 11th grade, bro. 11th grade. I'm looking like, what the fuck? So everybody kind of stopped for a second and looked. You got a nigga on the ground, bro. Yeah. He with a bullet wound in him, and then like 30 seconds later, the nigga still on the ground. Like he's still on the ground. Everybody just kind of like the shit was normal, bro. Like people walking past him. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going, bro? This nigga is shot, bro. Is anybody calling the police? What's going on right now? And bro, that shit was crazy as hell, bro. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, a nigga is shot in front, and his cousin, my partner Quinn cousin, was like, hey, we need to go, bro. It's finna get wild around here. We need to go on the go. We get in the car. This nigga take us to like the little river and shit, and he rolled us around and shit. And I'm like, bro, did y'all not see the nigga shot?
I'll be 100% with it. Like I'm not no fraud, nigga. I don't be trying to be no fake nigga. I'm from the safest part of the desert, nigga. I'm from the AV. You feel me? That's why I rock with Dominic Reyes. That's why I rock with Ryan Garcia. I'm from the safest part, but there's some crazy shit be happening. So I'm like when I nigga, like I'm here, and I've seen some shit happen. But even where I'm from, I don't speak on none of that. I don't want to speak on none of that because I'm like, I don't have nothing to do with any of that, nigga. I'm square, nigga.
Bro, I was so confused, bro. I was so
none of that shit.
Bro, I grew up in the hood, bro. I grew up in the country hood. You feel me? And so, but at the same time, I ain't never afraid to wait. Like, I'm literally watching nigga just kind of walk this nigga who's shot, bro. Like the shit was just normal, bro. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now, bro?
Bro, that's the crazy. That's why I be like when I be out here, I don't be saying nothing. I be cool. You feel me? When I roll up, you know what I'm saying, the corner store, all that stuff, I be good. Drop a little. I'll be chilling, man. Cause
you'll be orange now.
Yeah, nigga. You gotta make sure you seen. You gotta make sure you straight. Like where I'm Where I'm from the desert. I'm not from no bullshit. I'm not from no extra shit. Nothing like that. Like that's why I be in full support of Reyes. They die. He's from where I know he's from. Dominic Reyes, light heavyweight. Ryan Garcia, he's from Victorville. Supposedly that's what they say. So I'm in full support of him. So I'm like, nigga, I ain't got no. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm always gonna respect that. So I'm always
that,
gonna rock that.
that's my one Memphis story, and to be quite honest, I
But
don't
I've
play
never. But
this,
real
bro.
quick, Dub, let me say this. I haven't. Well, as of now, I haven't had no problems. I've been here 2.5 years. I haven't had no problems. None
Bro,
but
at,
none but
at,
love. None but
at
tradition. None
16
but
years old, at
respect.
16
So I
years old,
appreciate
shit will
people out
fuck
here.
you up, bro. That shit will fuck your mind up with the shit I seen. Bro, I don't got no.
I'm just saying, Dub. You trying? I'm just saying. I'm like, I ain't had nothing but respect. I ain't nothing but a lot. Of, people been no. You know what I'm saying. I've been in I've been in some bad spots, and they ain't nothing but love and they ain't nothing but respect, man. I'm gonna be 100 with you. It's like I feel like there is a certain aspect of it to it, but when you actually there for a certain period of time, it's like
But if you show respect, niggas
it's not
gonna
what
show
you
you
think.
back, bro.
That's my point, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, dude. Like I ain't had no problems. I've been here for 2.5 years. I'm not from here. Like I'm from Cali. Like I'm from the high desert. That's where I'm born and raised. I'm like
You
that's where
ain't
I'm from. High
Memphis.
desert, Apple Valley. That's where I'm from. I'm not from Memphis, nothing. But that's where I'm here, and I ain't never had no problems and people, and it's been
How you
cool.
get there? FedEx or something?
No, nigga, I'm motherfucking playing. That's why I be telling. That's one day I'm gonna tell y'all I'm gonna make a separate channel, but I'm like, but nah, like nigga, this is right. Like this ain't the first stop I went to. I went to Kentucky. I've been weirdly enough, I've been in some weird ass spots, nigga. But this is where I am right now. But it's like I ain't never had no problems. I ain't never had no motherfucker put me in a weird ass position. The only weird ass positions I ever put myself in is because I put myself in it.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
But hey, at the end of the day, Goose man, you know what it is. You know I got a lot of love for you. R West, you know I got a lot of love for you as well, my brother. And man, thank y'all for having the conversation that we had tonight. And we'll do that shit again, man. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Dub. Always, man. I always appreciate you when you come here, especially on a Friday night. For real, for real. I'm not gonna keep you. Get up out of here, man.
Yes, sir, my
Enjoy your
brother.
night, because I know you know what I'm saying. You got your family, man. Enjoy your
Man,
family, enjoy your night, man.
love to y'all.
Real quick, hey, check out
Don't say no bullshit now.
no. Check out the Power of the
Respectfully.
Rings, man. Check out the Power of the Rings. I don't know if you like it, but just check it out, man. It's
The,
it's,
the,
it's a little boring, but I think it's gonna get good, man. Just check it out, man.
what is it?
Power of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings.
Nah. So I'm a nerd. I'm definitely a nerd, and I watch. So I've been watching, been staying on the Rings of Power. That's what it is, nigga. The Rings of
That's
Power.
what I'm talking about. Yeah. Rings of Power.
And
I'm
so
just
so I,
like check it out. It don't got great episodes, but I think it has a lot of potential.
bruh, I gotta add, man. So when COVID hit, bruh, I actually got a chance to watch what's the shit called? What's the shit that everybody love, bruh? Now you got to spin off the
What's the
house.
genre? You got to say the genre.
You got the spinoff. The spinoff is the House of Dragons.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So
Yeah.
I got a chance to watch Game of Thrones. I've kind of been
I
trying to
can't get
keep
into
up.
Game of Thrones, man. I can't get into it. I be trying to it, bro. I
I
can't
swear to
get
God,
into it.
I put this on my life. I hate it. Like I tried to watch Game of Thrones like 3 times, and I hated it, bro.
That's how
Like
I was, man.
couldn't get into this shit. The first episode. If I can't get into the first episode, I don't want to see the shit. Right, man. My neighbor and my mom. I'm talking to my mom. My neighbor, he come down. Me and him, we always chop it up or whatever.
Always
And,
it's like when the mom coming to play,
and
it's like, the mom said, go ahead, my man.
but then they started talking about the Game of Thrones, and for an hour and a half, my my neighbor and my mom they talking about. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on right now? So that I had to go figure out what they was talking about. And when I really watched it, I was like, oh, this shit is dope. The problem is so then I'm trying to watch what it is, the House of Dragons or whatever this shit is,
That's
and
what it's called. Yeah, I've been contemplating because I'm like tomorrow's my day off. Like, I'm gonna watch my usual shows that I watch, but I never got into Game of Thrones. But for some reason, the House of Dragons keep showing up, and I'm like, should I give that a chance? And I'm trying to figure it
Bro,
out. So,
I'm gonna tell you, and I don't want to ruin nothing for you. My problem with the House of or the House of Dragons, whatever that shit is, my problem is from episode 1 through 5, right? You had this certain cast of people. In episode 6, the some of the main stars went from being 19 to 50, and I'm sitting here like when they did the
I'm
shit,
gonna
I'm
watch that,
like,
Joey.
who? And then they come out, and the girl's name is Rhaenyra, right? She 19 years old and shit, and then all of a sudden she 50, she having children, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Bro, that shit threw my whole everything off, bro. Like, I couldn't even, this last episode, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I couldn't even really watch this shit like I wanted to because I didn't know what the fuck was going on and didn't understand the time frame or none of that shit. Then I went to YouTube and kind of Googled or YouTube the shit to see what people would say about it. Everybody knew everything going on, and I'm sitting here thinking, how the fuck y'all know what's going on? I have no clue what's going on, bro. I have no clue. I don't know if I don't even know if I'm gonna watch that shit no more, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
I respect. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what it is. Look, like I say, y'all got any last statements y'all want to do? Because I'm like, it's late, motherfucker. I'm gonna end it, even though I don't want to. I'm like, I'm gonna end it. I'm like, it's a good time. So I'm like, y'all got any last statements y'all want to, say to people?
R West, man. Hey, last Goose, R West, both of y'all. This is my last statement. We got rocking with Right Side over on my channel, man. Definitely want to have you on, Goose. R West, I want to have you on as well, brother. And man, y'all definitely, man, show love, and y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. Much love and much support to both of y'all brothers, and thank y'all,
Much love
man.
to you, brother. Much love to you, man.
Much love,
Appreciate you, bro.
And
Always, you anything you want to say to people? You know what I'm saying? Forget about it.
It's been said all, man. I appreciate being welcome on the panel. The pleasure was all mine. So until next time.
I always appreciate Dub Right Side on the channel. I always appreciate, you know what I'm saying, R West on the channel, man. They always, hey, R West is a rare gift, man. He come in, you know what I'm saying, every, blue moon, you feel me? Every, you know what I'm saying, full moon. So, but I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, Dub Right Side. I appreciate R West. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just come with a great, you know what I'm saying, perspective, a great, look, a great ideology, a great understanding of, the boxing game. It don't matter it don't matter what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? You're able to just come straight into whatever is being discussed, and you're able to put an amazing perspective, and it makes me look at it in a certain way that I wasn't gonna look at it in the way I was looking at it before. So I appreciate that. And that's why I be dropping the, the particular link. So y'all can come up in here, challenge my perspective, challenge how I look at shit, change the whole ideology, make me look a fool, man. That's the whole, the point of this, man. Cause I don't want to be right, man. I want to be challenged. I want to look at shit. I want to be challenged. I want to, see a certain ideology or a certain idea that I never would have, thought of, personally. So I appreciate y'all for that. For real, for real. Please keep coming in, doing what you're doing. Appreciate everyone here. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family. Show some love, hit the comment. But I'm out of here for now, man. Appreciate everybody, man. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Friday. Happy Friday. Another day, another dollar. You feel me? We here. We doing what we doing. You feel me? Saturday coming up. Feeling amazing, feeling great, feeling on 100%. We keep moving, we keep growing, we keep, doing what we doing. You feel me? It's gonna get old at some point, but as of now, it's still smooth and still fresh. So let's make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? People want to talk shit, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, you only got so much time, and the time you make with it, it all has to do with what you decide to make of it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna say they shit, but they ain't gonna make your shit. So appreciate the people. Keep moving, keep growing, keep doing what you're doing. Stay strong. Don't let nobody take you off what you're doing. Don't let nobody take you off your path. Don't let anybody, distract you. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be, lonely. It's gonna feel like you ain't really doing that and nobody appreciating you. But as long as you appreciating yourself, that's all that matters. Love y'all. Keep going. And I'm gonna be back tomorrow, man. We're gonna have a good time tomorrow. For real, for real. Much love. Fluence, boxing all day, Fluence Friday. We out.